The next one is you shall not steal. Are you gonna say that's a different there's a different terminology for
Don't
for
take
stealing?
anything that isn't yours. I don't know, maybe black people from Africa, just
Oh my
hypothetically. Oh
gosh.
no, but we're gonna then bring them over here and pound it
We
to them.
all we all know
Slaves obey
that
your masters. Okay.
there's a lot of documentation, historical documents that's been
Don't take anything
misused to
that
it's
isn't
been a lot of
yours.
misuse there. It's been a lot of misuse there. So that's
Boy,
all
I
I'm gonna
know this.
say.
Woo, boy, that's doing a lot of lifting.
I'm
Misuse.
just saying it's
Misuse, he
relevant though.
says. Oh my God.
The
Okay.
next one is you shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. So
So
just
like,
don't
don't lie on people.
yeah, just don't lie on folks. Yeah, just don't lie on folks.
Don't lie on folks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. You shouldn't be lying on people,
You
I
should not
guess. But
cover
I
your
mean,
name.
like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, why didn't they end slavery in the Ten Commandments?
Oh
Like,
my
you
god.
you had 10. You had 10, and the first three are the same. You could
The
have
first three are
saved.
not the same.
You could have saved one. Plus, like, sliding
Oh
slavery.
my
There, like,
gosh.
yeah, don't do the slave thing. It's
Mm,
not a
mm.
good look. What? Why you do the slavery thing? Like, Darwin, what are you doing here?
It's challenge day.
What's going on, everybody? This is Challenge Day. What's up? What's up?
Howdy,
What's up?
partner.
Yeah, season 4, episode 8. We got another hot one for y'all, fresh off
Do
the
this thing.
presses, out the oven, whatever analogy you want to use. um, we're glad to have guys. We're
Straight out
glad
the
to have
pot.
you guys back. Facts. We're glad to have you guys back. We want to kind of hit you over here with quite a bit of information that we think will help you out. So definitely make sure that you check us out on a lot of the frequent, social media platforms.
One of the things I do want to say real quick is
Mhm.
that apparently some people are coming to our show for news, right? Okay, we do cover a lot of news. I get it. But like I just want to keep it the caveat that we record on time in terms of what's going on currently, but like by the time we put it out after editing and all that kind of stuff, some days have passed.
Yeah.
So yeah, the numbers change a little bit from
Of
when
course.
you're hearing this.
It's good to say that. Yeah, it's good.
Maybe we should like actually say the date this is recording on, whatever. So like we're recording after the debate that they had the big U.S. debate. So
yeah.
But by the time you hear this, there's probably a whole bunch of other stuff that might have happened.
Oh,
So
of course, they're gonna be. It's good. That's a fact. That's just
we'll
a
get
fact.
into that.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
probably some
for
changes,
sure. We'll
but
definitely get into
just
that.
putting it on the record. We hear, but
Absolutely.
I get the comments. I hear it, and like it is what it is. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Maybe somebody should be like stepping up to become an editor on this joint and make it happen. Okay.
That would help. Would help a lot. Okay. But anyways, at another challenge day. That's our handle. Everywhere, every social media platform you guys like to frequent. I'm Jeff, not Jeffrey. This is bro Darren Darko right there. So, and with all that being said, one more thing. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe.
Please
That's
do.
important. We need that engagement for sure. And we know that you guys be ninja watching. Like we know y'all be like peeping through the blinds and like looking through the bushes and all that. Like and acting like y'all don't be. We know y'all be watching. We be seeing y'all. So
But it's the thing. This is the thing. You got like people. Oh, I gotta do something. I can't just like watch it. Like you gotta do something. Like come on, man. I just pay the gremlins, dog. Pay the troll.
Anyways, with all that being said, we gonna jump right into it, man. First things first. Mass count. What you got for me, bro?
The mass count jumped from 225 to 258. So I think that's still on pace to slower than last year. And a couple of things has happened recently to kind of help the case for that. Supreme Court, some surprising rulings. So at the end of June is when the Supreme Court usually get all their stuff up.
Yeah, that's true.
There's still a couple of things that haven't come out yet. There's like, I think they might have extended their term or something for at least a week because there's still some stuff next week that's supposed to be dropping, some big news items. But as far as the guns go, if y'all remember, we actually showed this in one of our episodes back, was the Las Vegas shooting. And from when that Las Vegas shooting, I think that happened during the Trump administration. And
yes,
they banned bump stocks since then, right? So that's been challenging through courts. And so bump stocks is like this thing. It's an attachment you add to a. You can even do. I've seen it for a pistol, but you do it for an assault rifle, and then
like the
like
switches.
it
That's what they refer to.
yeah, you just put a spring on the thing, and like you just keep your finger in place, and like the spring causes the gun to move back and forth while
Yeah.
your finger doesn't move. And so technically, like if the gun's moving, just pulling the trigger every
Yeah, it's gonna keep
time it
it's gonna keep
bounces
feeding
back to the
it, and
spring.
yeah.
And so it ends up kind of like working like an assault. It's like a machine gun,
Yeah.
an automatic from semi-automatic to automatic, and can't be doing that. So they banned bump stocks, and then the Supreme Court was like, yeah, it's legit. They kept the ban. So that's one. The High Court found 6-3. The Trump administration did not follow. Wait a second, did I get that one wrong? But the High Court found that the Trump federal law when it reversed course banned bump stocks after a gunman in Las Vegas attacked a country music festival. Okay, so no, they struck it down. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I did say that earlier. They struck it down. So bump stocks for everyone. All right, so bump stocks are back. Okay, so that's that. But they did on Friday update a federal gun control law that is intended to protect victims of domestic violence. In their first Second Amendment case since they expanded the rights in 2022, the justices ruled 8-1 in favor of a 1994 ban. So they're in favor to people that's been deemed where it's like they're domestic violence. They're like, okay, no, y'all can't have no guns. And domestic violence people was
people who have like violent offenses and those type of things.
Yeah, they're like, nah, man, I should still be able to get my guns. They're like, nah, dude, not you, not you. Supreme Court upheld that. Yeah. Chief Justice Roberts, writing in for the court, said the law uses common sense and applies only after a judge determines that an individual poses a credible threat of physical violence. Okay, so in the very last thing that was quite it's revolutionary, but
does that qualifier of a person posing a credible threat, does that have to the skin tone skin tone
well, I could feel like they're gonna find a reason for who is poses a quote unquote credible threat. Just like all of a sudden every you know what country you live in.
Yeah,
don't play with me.
Go ahead.
The Surgeon General just declared gun violence a public health crisis. And why is that revolutionary? Why couldn't it have been done before?
It should have been a public health crisis.
It's crazy. This is like, like this is gun violence is the leading cause of death of children, and I think it's been that way for a couple of years now. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Isn't that crazy? But like, no, we don't put anything in place to curtail the ramifications that like
I know that.
For children, the leading cause of their death is some form of gun violence, whether it's like a school shooter or
or stray or something like that,
or stray, or domestic situation. It's that's the way it is. So when the Surgeon General declared this, amongst the it was off of they had the backing of a report and a study, right?
Okay.
And they came out with some recommendations. Among the report's recommendations are calls for lawmakers to impose a ban on assault weapons. Well, the Supreme Court is basically giving people assault weapons and giving people machine guns when they removed the bump stock thing. But if you put it in legislation, the Supreme Court can be like, well, it's a law. That's all they're able to do. They can't create laws. They can just interpret it. And if you put it into law, then there you go. That could help, right? The crisis there. And they also think there should be a ban on large capacity magazines. Why people got 100-round drums? I mean, like,
yeah.
Why does a civilian have
really be running around with 100-round drums for real?
And it says specifically for the use by civilians, it should be banned by civilians. Look at the universal background checks. I mean, that could kind of help to see who's the domestic violence person. Like that was deemed domestic violent, right? That could help, right? And they can't get guns, right? If there's this aggressive person that have anger issues and deemed so by the domestic violence convictions. Let's see. So background checks for all gun purchases, requirements for safe storage laws. You would kind of think this would have been like hey, every time you take a gun ownership course, they talk to you about that. They mention it. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's the same thing about not pointing your gun in a random direction. They go down these rules and these
Yeah, they do.
safe gun handling. These advocates
And,
that are
and
true
Maryland, they're big on that. They're huge on that. How you secure your firearms, even in your home.
Yeah, and so like if you have children, especially, we
Oh,
mentioned
of
this. We have
course,
children, especially.
of
You should
course,
have
of
a
course.
safe. You should have a gun
Absolutely,
safe.
absolutely.
And some people are like, oh, but I need to get to my strap quick because something could be happening in the house. Okay, there's a lot of options out there in terms of quick access
Yeah.
safes, gun safes. There's
Mm-hmm.
fingerprinting,
Yep.
right? There's these ones that have like these codes, like where
Mm-hmm.
you just like three codes or like shapes. Let's say it's
Yeah.
like
Shapes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
square, circle, triangle, or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. And you just got to do the right order: triangle, square, circle, boom, and your
Yep.
joint
And
opens,
you. Yep.
right? And you're good to go. In the meanwhile, your kid doesn't randomly, hey, what's this? Let's point it at each other and have
Mm-hmm.
fun and play cops and robbers and bow. You know what I mean? Just like
Mm-hmm.
because the 3 seconds that potentially this person that and people hardly ever have their houses broken into. They be having guns to the T, dog. They be swear they gonna have
They
a home
do.
invasion, dog. Don't nobody
They
want
do.
your cheap ass shit, dog.
I knew. I
Don't
knew a
nobody
lot.
want
I
your
knew a
cheap
lot of
ass
guys.
shit,
I knew a
dog.
lot of guys that had whole armories in their crib. And I'm like,
They go
bro, that's
weak
bullshit.
ass PS4, man. Who wants that, dog? PS4, really? I'm gonna break it
Yeah.
out for that one, dog.
Yeah. Bro.
Your TV ain't even freaking. Oh, you ain't even got a smart TV, man. What
Right.
are we
Yeah.
doing?
The only thing that's valuable in there is the guns.
It's the
Like,
gun, bro. I'm
it's
trying
the
to come get
gun.
these guns. Trying to
Yeah.
steal your guns,
I'm
bro.
trying to
That's
say your
what it
gun.
is. What are you talking about? People be
That's crazy.
swearing they about to be they the ones they gonna be. Okay, but anyways,
Mhm.
restrictions on the use of carry of guns in public spaces. That one for me is gonna be a little hard.
That's kind of crazy, bro.
I mean, you first. That's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say.
I mean,
Okay.
yes, yeah. Certain
But
parts
I
of
mean, but it's legit. It's the science is legit. Like
yeah.
less people have like, especially like you talking about people going to bars and they have their joint in tuck. You know what I mean? Now they've been
That would be
drinking.
crazy.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just
I
like
think we've seen enough westerns with guys in going to
in these
pubs,
saloons, bro. Send their
saloons.
joint to the okay corral. Man, they're
Yeah.
like, no, okay, you should probably not have okay. And
Yeah.
implementation of policies that would allow for removing firearms from individuals deemed a danger to themselves or others. So that would be kind of the same thing as like
Yeah.
the domestic violence ruling. So that I
Mhm.
mean, it seems like with the Supreme Court already ruling on that, given the precedents, all the precedents don't mean what it used to mean back like back in the day.
Mhm.
Um, legislation could stand. I don't think there could be a challenge to it if they wrote
Mhm.
that legislation according to how that recommendation was.
Mhm.
But they don't want the NRA is still apparently a powerful lobby. I thought they was going bankrupt like years ago, but like apparently they're still a thing. They got rid of Wayne LaPierre, but the NRA still has some of these
I
freaking
guess so.
Congress people by a chokehold, dog.
Okay.
So
Mm.
that's this is America, and we have to wrestle with freaking guns and its place in our society. There's more guns here than people. But we
Absolutely.
have to waste time and do all stuff when we could be just like really trying to see what else we could do to make people's lives easier and better. We just first step,
Mhm.
not kill each other with these guns.
Yeah, that would
So
help.
it's a high hurdle here in America, in the good old
And
USA. It's a high hurdle for us. Just don't kill each other first and foremost.
but that's it. But it looks like that's not the only thing that we should be weary about, right? That's I see there's like things we have to worry about what we see online, right? With these cheap fakes. We heard of deep fakes before, but not as cheap fakes. What is that all about?
Cheap fakes. So cheap fakes is a term that was created by Britt Paris and Joan Donovan. They're the authors of a book called The Difference Between Deep and Cheap Fakes.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that cheap fakes is just the easiest and lowest energy audio video editing. The
Okay.
lowest of energies. Talking about
Okay.
they had one that the other day where they had Biden looking crazy. Like it was overseas and stuff, and like everybody was taking a picture over here, and
Mm-hmm.
this dude like walks over this way, and he's like start talking to the air. You know what I mean? The way they cropped that joint. It made it look like this dude was just talking to the air, right? But
That's
then,
weird.
but then the full footage got released, and you see the wide view of it. And he was actually talking to somebody. You know what I mean?
Ah, okay. You just
It's
couldn't
so, but all
couldn't
they did was
ignore
just
it.
crop the photo,
Yeah.
the video.
Yeah.
So it could really make them. So that's a cheap fake. You don't need AI.
Yeah, you don't need
You
AI
don't
for
need no
that, yeah.
high tech stuff. You don't need no
Yeah.
Photoshop skills and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Remember, we saw some of them where they did like these deep fakes where we saw like Tom Cruise was doing some joint. Or you see
Oh,
Obama
yeah.
dancing, doing like the Tootsie Slide or
Mhm.
something like that. Like, wait a
Yeah.
minute, what the hell? But like,
Yeah.
it's like Obama would never be doing that. You don't be,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
and like he don't probably don't know that dance. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
they had Bill Clinton freaking doing one of these freaking Afro beat dances,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In a suit and all that stuff. No, okay, but
Yeah.
like those are deep fakes because you got the power of
You gotta
AI, you
utilize
got certain
AI, yeah.
techniques and all that kind of stuff to get
Mhm.
in there. But
Yep.
these cheap fakes that's all it is. They'll take a audio clip and like they could slow it down at one point.
So it's
And like
basically amateur hour is what it sounds like.
it's amateur hour, but the shit
Yeah.
still runs the
Still runs
gamut.
crazy.
It still runs
Ah.
crazy and does numbers.
Okay.
So those are cheap fakes. They require
Mm.
minimum editing and no significant technology. They're low cost. You know, and they don't use. You don't have to like have like some huge some subscription or like the know how to use an
Mhm.
AI system to be able to develop this stuff.
Mhm.
Now, when they did that cheap fake of Biden, just like out there, just like right, and it's like, bro, come on, you don't gotta do all that. Just go with the real footage,
With the real joy, the real joy.
Go with the real joint. If you watch that debate,
give you enough footage. Yeah,
just wait to the debate.
Yeah,
And you don't even gotta edit nothing, bro. Just hit record and play, dog. When you're ready to play that joint.
That's it.
My man's was looking crazy.
Yo, he was looking so wild, bro. He was looking. I was like, dang, this is on national TV.
Joe. And they made the rules about muting the microphone when the other person is talking. No audience, right? Bro, you needed an audience, dog, to kind of like, it's okay, Joe, you got him. You know what I mean? Like during some of those moments when you was like bumbling, stumbling.
Yeah.
That nigga made the not top 10 like at least 10 times, though.
I mean, I see Kamala. Kamala, you know, was trying to, you know, obviously support her.
She gotta do what she gotta do. She on that ticket.
Her president. But I mean, I was like, Kamala, I see the damage control you trying to do, but nah. Nah.
The debate covered a wide range of topics and included a you know, the former president Trump not backing down from his vows of to prosecute members of Congress and even prosecuting Joe. Like Trump was being Trump, you know.
Absolutely.
But Biden from the jump got there from the start and already had this raspy voice.
Yeah.
And like it's like, dude, and you could hardly hear he wasn't projecting. Like, dude, speak up. He's like, and like already mad confused. Like that first 10 minutes was not good for your boy. He was mumbling, he got tongue-tied, lost his train of thought. But Trump at 78 still got a little pep in his step in terms of like just like at least like just talking.
Yeah.
And you know all he does is lie. He lied so many times this joint. But like, when you confident and you lie, and there's people that's not gonna fact check you.
Yeah, it's respectable.
You look like you with it.
You look like you look like you. Yeah, it's like, you know, I can't.
God.
I'm telling you.
There's one time Joe Biden said some joint he was finishing this and like he trailed off at the end, and Trump right away when it was his turn to talk again, right? Right away said like, I'm not sure what he just said at the end there. I don't even think he's sure what he said.
The total initiative relative to what we can do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
I love it, bro. He be trolling like crazy, bro.
This sounded so serious. Yeah, I was like,
that's a good one.
That's a good one, dog. No, he's just not sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure what he said there.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure he knows what he said.
Yeah.
Like, how do you bounce back from that?
Yeah.
That's like one of those joints where it's like, where you say, oh, I know, what is it? So it was like, you're no Joe Kennedy, you're no John Kennedy, whatever the line was. It was like, it was one of these lines that's gonna like live in infamy in terms of debate performances.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, where he said that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he knows what he said.
He just timed it well.
He timed it so well. And the thing is, if you had it the regular debate rules where people was like in the audience And I hate that joint because it all becomes a performance.
Mm.
And where you don't have the mics muted,
Mm-hmm.
Trump would have been probably talking over him.
Mm.
The audience would have been chiming in and out. So like a moment like that for with Joe Biden kind of like
yeah.
wouldn't be as emphasized. You kind of like miss it because you're distracted by this other thing. But they specifically made that joint to highlight Trump's like faults. But that joint was like a mirror that they did not realize. It was a two-way mirror, dog. Like you did not realize you was gonna have to stare into. So that boy was looking wild. That boy was looking, and he like, but like, this is what it is. I'm like, we've been said this. Like, Joe, you serve the public for ages now. Yeah. You've been a public servant. These old heads got to go. And this isn't like, and here's the thing. It's not like we're saying this now with this one event. Yeah. Oh, this one time this thing happened. He had a bad night.
No, we've been saying this for a while. We've been saying this for a while.
It's not me. It's not just me. You know, like there's vast majority of people. Like there's a lot of people on the progressive, liberal, left leaning, however you call it, reasonable side, versus MAGA side that are like, yo, this dude can't go against Trump. No, he's too old. He's just too old. Like it's okay. You can't be an NBA basketball player. You're 5'2". Yeah, you're 5'2". It's just no, you can't. It's just like that's not saying anything. That's just like a physical reality of the situation. Dude, you're 81 and you are frail. Part of the presidency involves running for office. Yeah. Part of the presidency involves campaigning. It involves communications. You're supposed to be like because all you do is talk all day. You can't really go out there and fight the war. You ain't gonna grab no gun. You ain't gonna go out there and freaking run the highway system and actually fly planes. You got to talk to the different parts of the country, different offices and everything to get the message across and to get everybody in the same rhythm. And you got to travel around the world to do that with like foreign leaders. You got to do like flights for hours. You got to go, even if you're on Air Force One, you got to do that and then be in the room.
And then there's a whole thing with optics with that too, like seeing like your suitability, especially when you're traveling internationally, like
that's and like too, and so you're like, okay, well, it ain't about what he's doing on TV and all, because it's about how he performs in a room, by himself. Think about this debate though. This debate was two moderators, Trump, and a cameraman, a couple camera people probably. It was a small room. It was a private. It wasn't like a big, large stadium full of people or auditorium or anything like that. So the type of negotiating room, if he's at NATO or something like that, it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like a small venue like that. That was a small venue. Now it was on TV and everything like that, but he sees a camera. He don't see everybody watching him. He just sees a camera. So it's just like talking on Zoom or something like we're doing. So if you can't perform in that, it's and then you tell me he got a cold. He had a cold. So that's what kind of happened. Okay, so
all right.
Maybe you pull out of the joint. And I see you like, and I was sure it was a cold. Was it really a cold? Was it not? Was it COVID? I think you should take a COVID test. I would say that if I was Trump, I'd be like, just like to mess with him, And he goes out, he goes to Waffle House after the fact, and he's hanging out with the people at Waffle House. He pays for the tab and stuff. I'm like, dude, I thought you had a cold. What the hell are you doing here?
That's a good point.
What you doing here? Do you have a cold or not? Like, so I feel like y'all scheming, y'all scamming, y'all just like,
that's what I feel like.
Keeping it real with the people. But you know what you can't do? You ain't gonna convince me not to believe my own eyes. I saw that joint, dog. America saw that joint, man. The dude is about to pull a Ruth Bader Ginsburg on our ass. A Dianne Feinstein on our ass.
Really?
Though they don't know when they're gonna go. It's just unexpected. But we see you declining.
That's true. We see the decline. That's true.
RBG, bro, we knew you were declining. You knew you're declining. It's just a simple fact of age. We all grow old, dog. Just accept it, bro. You just can't be doing what you used to do. So, okay, I want to say this because I said this for the record last time, and I'm back at it again. I had called at the State of the Union, and he had a great State of the Union. He was energized. Yeah, he was with it. He was going back and forth with people that was talking mad, the Republicans and stuff.
He was pretty good.
At the time, I said, I said, at the stadium, that's when you should like boom and announce that you're stepping down to give Kamala the rest. Remember, I said this, to give Kamala the rest of your that year. So from February, I think it was in February, to the election, to be on the job, so people to see her doing the job. I've been saying he should have stepped down during the State of the Union, dog. And so he would have went out on top. It's kind of that damn Tom Brady shit. Like, dude, you won the Super Bowl. Go get out of here. You did it.
You got to see if you still got it, though, man.
This dude had to see if he still had it.
You got to see.
And now look at you.
Yeah.
Exactly. This fool looking crazy now when he could have been stepped down and not do the RBG thing. Like, you're hanging on for power to do, like, it looks like you're the only one that possibly could beat Trump. You're not realizing, this is what they're not realizing. And the Democrats, it's the Democratic establishment that's keeping Biden in place. And this whole time, he shouldn't even ran the second time around anyways, which he said he wasn't going to do, but he did. The thing what you're not realizing, that people there's nobody really, I won't say nobody, but most people ain't really voting for Joe Biden. We are just scared to death of Trump.
Yeah.
So you could slide in whoever for Biden. Nobody was voting for him anyways.
Yeah.
They was voting against Trump. And guess what? Whoever you slide in here, Trump's still going to be on that other side, right? So you can still just vote against Trump. It's no way. Like, even when the first time around, when he got the endorsement by Clyburn from South Carolina, that really propelled Biden's primaries, and he ended up winning the damn thing. Even then, it was like, bro, everybody knows he's running against Trump. Whoever wins is going to run against Trump. And Trump was not going to win a second term. He just came off of COVID, a horrible handling of COVID. Nobody was going to be voting. Anyways, so my dream ticket. This is what I have a solution. You're welcome. Now this, I'm looking at it from a specific perspective of, do you want to win? Do you want to win? Is Trump really the existential threat that we've all been talking about, that y'all been talking about, screaming about? Trump is the existential threat to democracy. The country would no longer be a democracy. Remember all that shit? Okay. If you want to win, this is what you do. You switch up the ticket first and foremost. That's your first try. Put Kamala at the top and put Biden as VP. For those that are scared to death of removing Biden from the ticket, you still got your guy. He's right there. He can whisper in her ear and she can go do the bidding, and he'll be a shadow president, however you want to call it, but she'll just be president on paper. Either way, she'll actually be president, and she would be an incumbent now, right? And so she could run next time around because she would be an incumbent for the rest of this term, right?
Have that, yeah. She'll have that in her resume, yep.
And let me back up and say this: all of y'all that's coming up with these fantasy draft for if Biden drops, who should go? You bugging. Right? You out your goddamn mind if you think that Democrats will win if they remove Kamala. You out your mind. There's no way.
You think Kamala is the only would be the only.
I'm just saying, like, the percentage of black women you gonna lose. If you freaking drop her,
if you drop Kamala, you're probably gonna lose a lot of black women.
And put in a Gavin Newsom, a white, especially for a white. I know you're gonna put in a white dude. I know you would. I know you, America. I know you would. You know you're gonna put a white dude up there, and you jump over. The VP is the point. That's the point of the picking of VP. If something happened to me, they got it. So now, if you jump over her, it's like, oh, that was just optics. You didn't really pick her like that. If you jump over the VP in any other point in American history, the VP steps in. But suddenly now you're going to jump up, bro, you're going to lose a lot of the black community.
Yeah.
You're going to lose a lot of black. You can't do that.
I didn't even know you could even do that. I thought it's just the VP slots right in. I thought that's
if he resigns or something like that, but we're talking about the election.
Okay.
Yeah, if he resigns right now, she's going to become president. She could do that. But like, in terms of like, you should nominate her for the election. They wouldn't, if they don't nominate her, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Trump wins. Project 2025. No boo down.
Yeah.
So okay, this is that would be my first go around. Just to like, you keep Biden just like less rocking of the boat. Kamala and let Biden be VP. if you got to be a little bit more, if you got to get rid of Biden, Kamala and Bernie Sanders. I'll give you that. You still get your old white guy. You still get your old white guy, and Bernie Sanders is a populist. So those people who are like, oh, Kamala Harris is a cop, you know, because she used to be DA and all that kind of, they don't really trust him. Hey,
Loki, she is.
Here's a populist. Here's Bernie Sanders. You know what I mean? With all his little socialism stuff and so you can kind of
not really feeling that.
A democratic socialist. He doesn't call himself socialist. He's a democratic socialist, but he has a lot of populist things that people agree with. Even Republicans agree with a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like universal basic income, you know what I mean? And things like that. And so student loan forgiveness, that's whether or not you're like a lot of students, a lot of people like, you agree with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? They want that. So like all those kind of things, you know, he's not president. So like, you don't have to be too scared of him doing those things, right? Those of them that are like a little bit more conservative, right? Because he's only VP, he can only advocate, but he's not president. You still got the cop. So I think that could be like less boat rocking, you know what I mean? I'm talking about, and this is, I'm not saying these are like, I mean, Kamala, I think definitely should be on ticket, but like, do you want to win? Is Trump that big of a threat that you say he is? This is what you gotta do. Another one would be Kamala, again, still keeping her on the ticket. Kamala. And then Andy Beshear. Andy Beshear is the Kentucky governor. Is he still governor? I think he might still be governor. But he did 2 terms. Democrat in Kentucky. 2 terms. You know what I mean? Like,
that's impressive in Kentucky.
That's impressive. You know what I mean? So like, and he's white. He's white. That's your favorite, right? That's your favorite flavor. He's white. Hey, gotcha. Right? So, and he's young.
Okay, I like that.
Boom. So, you know, you could like maybe then in 2028 actually have a complete primary. Okay, Kamala was able to be president for these 3.5 or 4 years of the second part here, and then like she has to run a complete primary. Yeah, she's incumbent, but you know it was under these special circumstances. So boom, she has to actually run a campaign for president again. Whatever narrative you want to, but it would work. You would have Kamala, and you have this white guy, Andy Beshear from Kentucky. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this up, but like I'll give you one Hail Mary. This is the one Hail Mary that I thought of. If you got to get rid of Kamala, this is a Hail Mary. I've established that, right? You keep Biden. You drop Kamala. You pick up Michelle Obama. Tell me they don't win. Tell me they don't win. Michelle Obama. The most likable black woman in America.
They might be able to swing something like that. That might,
bruh.
They might be able to. Okay,
bro. And you could get away with it because the black women that you lost by dropping Kamala, they're gonna be like, oh, you gave us Michelle though.
Michelle is
you gave us Michelle though.
That's okay. I can.
That's a Hail Mary. It'll be a Hail Mary.
It absolutely is.
But dog, if this is the existential threat to existence as we know it, that's on the other side, you gotta do like the best you can to win.
Yeah.
You gotta do like the best you can to win that ticket. Like I'm if you want to win, it's if you want to win. But I think the easiest route right now, do Kamala and then Biden. People still nobody cares if people didn't like Kamala. Nobody's voting for Kamala. Nobody's voting for Biden. Everybody's just voting against Trump. That's all it is.
Well,
everybody's voting against Trump.
There's a sector of people voting.
Dog, if you care about the country at all, you're gonna vote against Trump. You're gonna vote against Trump, regardless who's on that side. Especially because you know it's only like you can vote again in 4 years. So you know, if you really want to get rid of her, you could do it then.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I mean, there are obviously going to be philosophical differences on that, depending on what you think is best for the country. But yeah, I mean, if you want to, I'm also on the side of in a well-run democracy. I do support that for sure.
I make more money in a well-run democracy, bro.
Yeah, big facts.
My electricity stay on longer when it's in a well-run democracy. Haiti is a good representation of what you don't want to do.
Yeah, that's very true.
Fired away.
In more enlightening, well, not lightning, in more lighter news, we got it's something that I kind of want to talk about just real quick. Nothing to dive into. Denzel Washington and his wife Paulette, what is it, Pauletta? I think it's Paulette Washington, I believe it is. They've been married for 41 years. Why am I
It's
bringing this
possible.
up? Yeah, it's they've been married for 41 years.
Okay.
Denzel Washington, he's 69 now. They have several children. The reason why I'm bringing this
Denzel
up is because
69?
he's 69. Yeah, he's 69, bro. Yeah, 69.
Damn.
They actually, him and his wife actually met on the set of Wilma. Remember that film?
Okay.
Wilma, back in 1977. Back in 1977. The reason why I even wanted to talk about this is because they had like a nice little moment when Denzel Washington was doing an interview. He was doing it was during a fireside chat. He FaceTimed his wife, right? And his wife kind of, they've been together 41 years, so his wife know he's up to something. so he FaceTimed her and like live, like why they were, on this huge panel. He was actually at the American Black Film Festival ahead of Father's Day. So at the time that it happened was a couple days before Father's Day. And yeah, so he called his wife. Just a little background. The reason why he was there is just to kind of talk about his experience in the entertainment industry and all that stuff. He also talked about his kids, John David, Katia is another one, and 33-year-old twins, Olivia, an actress, and her twin Malcolm. So he has 4 kids. The one that's the one that you're probably familiar with is the one that was like in Tenet. There's a couple other, yeah.
He's good. I like him as an actor.
Yeah, I do like him as an actor.
like him as an
I think he's pretty solid as an actor. And actually, when you do like a side by side of them, that's his son. That's really his son. They really do look alike. But so he ended up FaceTiming her, and she kind of gave him a hard time about it, whatever. She don't really like. She was like, we'll see. He was like, he talked about something about like baking cake or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, I'll have your cake, all right." I'll have your cake. But it was kind of like a dope moment because
organic.
It was organic. Yeah, it was organic. It was so dope, man. I'm a fan of Black love. I love Black love. I think you don't really see what you don't see, especially like in social media and all that stuff. You don't see like healthy, long lasting Black love relationships often. Like you don't see that often. It's like it's very rare. It's like
keyword healthy.
Yeah, and that's why I said that keyword healthy, right? So and they've been with each other for a minute, man. 41 years. They've been married longer than some people have been alive. You feel me? So like I just thought it was dope to kind of like highlight that that these type of relationships should be highlighted. These are the type of relationships that if someone wants to be in a relationship, this is something that
but just keep with the grain of salt because we're also not seeing what happens behind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is just more general, right? Not like a rule of thumb, but it's more of like this is kind of the stuff that I think is healthier for people to see, like to see more healthier, long-lasting relationships, meaningful relationships. So I just thought it was a dope moment, man, between a man and his wife, and he raves about her. He speaks highly of her, that she was one of the reasons that he has been as successful as he has been as an actor, like the support and everything that she provides. So just having a strong woman in your corner.
Shout out to Denzel, man. You know what I mean? Like we haven't heard any of these like Hollywood stories about him the way we hear about some of these other people. So it's like he's been doing his thing. He's been doing he's a thespian,
like I think he's a thespian true, like a real thespian
in the theaters, in the big pictures. But he's a legend. Definitely glad to know that he's doing well.
Yeah.
We have another piece of news from overseas. Freaking the Israeli Supreme Court orders conscription of ultra Orthodox men.
Yeah, this is absurd.
And they was hot.
Oh yeah, they not feeling this.
Why would they be feeling that, boy?
Like this was crazy. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like,
but I mean, like the thing is that it's the ultra right that is the most proponent of fighting this war. And that makes up the bulk of Netanyahu's coalition.
Yes.
Is the ultra right. So they want this war to be fought so bad, but none of their people in their Orthodox movement or Orthodox camp is gonna actually go pick up a gun. Is actually gonna put their life on the line.
Yeah,
but y'all want the war that bad.
They are ill prepared for it. They don't. That's not what they do. that's not what they do.
That's not advocating so hard for war.
Yeah.
You're gonna advocate that hard for war so that you can go to your theological seminary now in schooling while other people go fight this war for you and die and kill on your behalf.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe this could be a thing to get this war wrapped up, because they're like, oh, wait. We're gonna have to actually go fight. Like, you know what? You know what? I think we got him. Yeah, I think we got him. It's just like in that joint, and actually make negotiations to like give the Palestinian people like their space back to kind of like rebuild. You don't have to go with and let Hamas be in charge or nothing like that. But like, I think this would be like, and also like they're dragging these young men kicking and screaming from these protests, and you're gonna put him on the front lines.
Yeah.
Bruh, good luck getting me to freaking show up and sacrifice anything. Or I might be derelict for duty. I might be freaking AWOL
going
on your ass. Or I'm not pulling this trigger. I'm not. Is if you get a bunch of people in the military, mind you, and here's the crazy part: America has all volunteer military. We have the biggest military in the world. That's another thing you think about America. We volunteering for that beef, volunteering for all that smoke.
You be looking for the smoke.
It's not healthy, is it? That can't be healthy.
Yeah, there's a little bit of derangement there for sure.
And it goes to show what some of these numbers look like with the casualties in our military, even before they even go overseas. Wow, but I'll put that to the side for a second. But yeah, the Supreme Court ruled over there in Israel, like, no, everybody, if you're a male of fighting age or conscription age, you can get called up too.
Yeah, on your body.
So yeah, hey, you after on and found out, and there you go.
It's just so strange, because I mean, and it's not entirely rare that it happens, because apparently, I mean, it's fewer than 10% that enlist. When it, as far as like these ultra orthodox males, what's it?
Yeah, but what's the population? What's the percentage of the normal population?
Yeah, so that's why it says less than 10%.
Like 80% probably.
Like, yeah. So it is. I mean, it is an interesting thing. Like, I mean, it just it is that ultra right that you mentioned. Like, it's just the fueling of this war. They just need more bodies. That's really what it comes down to.
But they just stop the war. You won't need them more bodies.
Yeah, that's all it comes down to. Yeah,
I think they've had like 600. I think the number is like 600. IDF soldiers have died. If you don't want 601, it's like stop the war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
You have the power.
Yeah, definitely. Let's move on to something a little more techie, right? Well, it's more techie, but financial investment, all the different things. So TSMC, what is it? The Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, TSM. They are looking to jump into that trillionaire, the trillionaire market, or trillionaire valuation, like Microsoft and Apple and all the different companies, because of what AI is doing. We know that this particular company is one of the long-standing semiconductor manufacturing companies. They have major clients that they've been servicing for years, decades. Microsoft being one of them. Nvidia is a huge. If you're a tech guy, you know about Nvidia and GPUs and CPUs.
Or if you're even gaming on your,
or if you're gaming,
gaming computer, Nvidia,
GeForce, yeah. So, but like Nvidia and Apple is like one of their major, two of their major clients. But they have a bunch of different customers, right? But the reason why I wanted to talk about this a little bit is just because of just obviously like the effect of AI, what AI is doing. And they are very invested in the space of AI as far as this company, TSMC. They occupy a noteworthy space in the AI ecosystem. Since its processors are used many of the biggest names in the space, TSMC stands to benefit from the accelerating adoption of generative AI. Which is something that I kind of want to talk a little bit more. There's quite a bit more information here in the article about the different valuations of like different companies and their costs. But the thing that I really want to harp on is like this generative AI, right? Mm-hmm. Essentially, it's been a buzz. That's like where you get a lot of like deep fakes and stuff like that from this generative AI, right? It's accelerated revenue for this particular company, right? Because of that. And which also provides evidence that management at TSMC is leaning into this opportunity to really utilize generative AI. And this particular concept of how AI is being used is what's going to be able to launch them into that trillionaire scope, right? Now, what is generative AI? So basically, it is an artificial intelligence capability that is essentially you're able to generate text, images, videos, or other data using generative models, right? And of course, you can't have a model without actual data that you can pull from to
Well,
create models,
they
right?
don't swept the internet so many
Oh
different
yeah,
times already with
absolutely, absolutely.
they've
And
collected all
basically
the
these
data they can.
models, yeah. So and I'm definitely gonna hand it off to you.
That's
'Cause I
how
know
they
you got
could
some
come
stuff.
up with freaking these original texts, even though they suck
Yeah,
sometimes. What they call
yeah,
it, the original scripts
yeah.
and jokes and stuff like that. But
So yeah,
they
and that's basically what it is. It learns patterns, structures of their input training data, which is what I just mentioned, just existing data. And this generates new data that has similar characteristics. So I mean, I know you wanted to chime in a little bit on that in particular, or
I just
anything else
wanted
you
to
might have on
add that this is a reminder of something good that Joe Biden did, which was the Chips Act.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I think I heard of that.
he did that Chips Act. That was
Uh,
he passed that in 2022,
mhm.
and that's it's about like $50 billion
Yeah,
to go towards investing chip manufacturing
yeah,
and semiconductor manufacturing
because it slowed down
here
for a period of time,
in
if
the
you can remember.
states
Yeah,
domestically. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And
yeah.
so we don't have to be relying on
On
this is a
TSM.
Taiwan company. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? There was a Chinese
they're just the
company.
best
You
at
know,
it. So it's like
and so if we could do it here in the States and
mhm.
we invest and make like a government program because this is what is next.
Yeah,
AI is taking over.
yeah,
Our phones are doing way more than and matter of
hmm
fact, a lot of these phone companies gave like big bonuses to people turning in their old phones because all they wanted is to get that chip out of there.
yeah,
That's how rare that joint was.
mm,
Is you know what I mean? Especially the materials to make those chips and stuff
yes,
like that. So
hmm
um that was one of the and that's a good thing
hmm
that that Biden did because like there's so many jobs that's securing for the future and that's actually it's going to help
absolutely.
with national security because we don't have to rely on oh man China don't want to give us no chips. China don't want to
hmm
give us any like you know what I mean the supply chain for the materials
hmm
the raw
To make the
materials for it.
chips, yeah. hmm
So we could do it home, we could do it domestically, we could do it.
Oh,
All right, boom, bet.
hmm
So that's it. It's so Biden is not all the way completely out of the freaking realm when it comes to like the presidency. I'm just saying that part of the presidency
hmm
is running a campaign, and that part,
Sure.
bro, is looking crazy for you. So that's why he should be
hmm
VP.
Yeah.
Just
Uh,
and give Kamala a chance.
so I do want to also mention this quick disclaimer, everybody. We're not
Don't
saying
take
that you should. That we're not giving you financial advice. We're not financial
investment
advisors
advice.
or anything like that.
Don't take
Um,
investment advice
don't take
from a
investment advice from a
podcast.
podcast, but especially from us. we're not we're not licensed in any
Not
type of way.
claiming to be
We're not
either.
claiming to be or anything like that. We're just give y'all some information about a company that seems to be doing some good there. So, but other than that, that's that. Let's jump to sports though. So we got
Okay. We
I
got a
don't want to
couple
run
of things
through.
brewing.
Yeah, quite a few different things. Some of you guys and ladies, if you're following it, JJ Redick is new head coach for the Lakers. No surprise there.
No surprise. That's no
No surprise.
surprise.
No surprise. No surprise.
Uh,
All of us know.
uh,
Nah, man.
there's no surprise.
Out of nowhere, JJ Redick and LeBron James has a podcast.
Yeah, because they
When
both like,
knowing that
like,
Darvin Ham was on the out, like you
okay,
come
but for
out with a
JJ
podcast.
Redick to slide in there,
Yes,
he's
JJ Redick is
never coached.
well, but
He's
it don't
never
matter.
coached.
Mhm,
He's never coached. He's never been
mhm.
an assistant coach.
Steve Nash never coached, and look how easy he got that job at Brooklyn. Jason Kidd never coached. Look how easy he had got that job when he first came. I think he
Was
had
no,
first coached.
wasn't Jason Kidd? Jason Kidd was assistant coach.
No, he wasn't. Not before he became. He was a head coach. He became a head coach of, was it Milwaukee? I think it was. I can't remember. I think it was like Milwaukee. And now he's an assistant coach. Well, now he's a main coach. Now he's our head coach for the Mavs. But he got hired as a head coach first and didn't do very well. I can't remember if it was the Bucks or the Knicks or something like that. He didn't do very well, and then became an assistant coach, and they got hired on as our head coach for the Mavs.
So when he first started, he started as a head coach.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
I was,
Lot.
but okay, but even then,
Mhm.
I think JJ Redick would still be surprised, even if he could do that. The fact that this dude has a podcast with James, and also he's young. This dude is like a kid, right?
Yeah.
And he has a podcast with
Joe Mazzulla is young, and he just won NBA Finals.
where he just did that.
I don't think he's 40 yet.
But then you have a podcast with LeBron James, and then for you to become his coach, bro, like that's
Nah,
That's
I
a
saw the writing.
surprise.
I saw the writing, man.
That's a
Nah.
surprise. You can't set that up. You would
LeBron
never have
does
said that joint before this. You would never have said that
LeBron
joint.
does
You ain't never
nah,
made that prediction.
bro. It was always something in my mind though. I never
The
said
thing is,
it.
you have a podcast with LeBron James. It's not random because LeBron James, he's big into the sports, the basketball IQ thing, and LeBron has been doing a bunch of these like show kind of things, like the barbershop and these kind of things. So he's trying to like lean into broadcasting, and JJ Redick is in broadcasting now. So I could see that being the transition where like the LeBron thing, he's like he does one more year and then he retires and then leans fully into the broadcasting thing. But the transition the other way to where JJ Redick goes to the basketball, he's not even gonna have no podcast. There's no season 2 then.
So this is what I'm getting into. So JJ Redick has made it known before that he would have always he's desired to be a head coach. Like that's he's always desired he's always desired to be a head coach. That's always been a thing for him. He's actually been coaching like kids. Right. This is what a lot of these coaches
I know he's been coaching the kids. So like he'd be coaching like like I think like fourth graders.
Yeah, like fourth graders, stuff like that. So like, but like, you know, a lot of them do that actually. They'll do little stuff like that or whatever, just to kind of get a feel for like just a little bit of coach or whatever. But JJ Redick has voiced his opinion on many occasions, even like through the broadcasting, that he would love the opportunity to be able to do that.
No, I think it's known that he's taken interviews before.
Yeah. He's also he's made it known that that it would definitely be an opportunity he would jump at. And I'm also saying this because JJ Redick has always been respected as a basketball mind, anyways. Even like outside this conversation we have right now about him, right? He's just been known as a basketball mind, right? But LeBron James, he doesn't do anything without some kind of plan or move. Like I don't think people need to. Bruh, people
how would that move? People need to know. Check the setup of him having a show with JJ Redick. Bro, how would that be like the setup to get JJ Redick? Even if LeBron planned it, what was the connection?
I'm explaining. People need to put respect on LeBron James' business mind. People need to put respect on his mind. He's always making moves, trying to put himself in position or people that he's connected to in position. LeBron and JJ Redick has always had a great relationship, right? He's always known that JJ Redick has a great basketball mind. There's a reason why the show specifically addresses a lot of things that coaches do day to day, calling plays, understanding what these different terminologies are. JJ Redick is literally showing you plays. Like this is where the nail is. This is where the dunker spot is. This is what you do.
How's that a business? Good business move for LeBron.
So this is how it's a good business move for LeBron. He has a relationship with JJ Redick. Everybody knows that whoever coaches LeBron, you ain't really the coach for real. Like you're not really that. Like it's really LeBron James, or it's really like a 50-50 kind of partnership. Nobody, bro. You think Darvin Ham was really the coach?
So why get JJ like what does he need JJ Redick for?
Representation, optics.
But what I'm saying is like, couldn't he get any coach to that? Why do that thing with JJ Redick? Like do a show with him and then bring him on. If you're going to be the coach anyways, anywhere, you know what I mean? LeBron James is going to be the coach really on the team. Like you could just get any random person. Why specifically JJ Redick?
It just makes the most sense because JJ Redick has been another reason actually. I just thought about this actually. I don't know why I didn't think about this before. It's also JJ Redick's visibility and his comfort level, right? Like he's a known guy. You know, and I think also as a player, you can kind of see like the respectability. I want
JJ Redick finna just let him play. I wonder if JJ Redick is gonna be like a figure of like
but that's another thing though. JJ Redick and LeBron thinks alike
because they think alike. You know what I mean? So that's like you gotta just like let them play.
They like if JJ Redick doesn't rub me as that kind of a person though.
JJ Redick doesn't strike me as somebody that can develop somebody
like actual players. Really, you don't think so?
Like a player, like a random player, like developing. He don't strike me like that. He strikes me a person that can like break it down and see it and then apply it to himself. He doesn't strike me as like a teacher like that.
Really? I honestly
that could develop a player like that.
I mean, for me, I guess the feel has been really kind of like the opposite. Really, like I feel like I feel like he has that ability. Just listen to like how he describes
LeBron don't even strike me that way either.
broadcasting.
I hearing on the shows that were talking about how like they know these players, they see these other players that don't have that kind of IQ, and they kind of was like laughing at them.
But that's a different. I mean, they're talking from a different perspective, though, right? They're talking about these players. They're not really like they're not, but they're not really talking from the lens of like, okay, I'm trying to teach you. Like I'll teach this. This is how I'll teach this player to do this the right way. Like they weren't necessarily. They were a lot of times the podcast was just their gripes. Was just their gripes with like
a lot of gripes
how basketball's played today. That's really what the show was. Just their gripes. So like, it's an opportunity to make. It's also an opportunity for LeBron to like kind of vicariously have some influence through JJ Redick as the head coach.
He's definitely going to have that influence over.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, we'll move on from this, but I'll say this: I don't want to hear nobody talking crap about Bronny when you got JJ Redick that just got this random job just like this. Okay?
Yeah, facts. That's not Bronny. Yeah, facts.
JJ Redick got a head coaching job. You can't say nothing about Bronny.
and what
second round.
And the thing with Bronny as well. Yo, nepotism is all over the league. Let's stop this cap, man. It's all over the league. NBA, NFL, MLB, and like, come on, bro. Let's stop this cap. It's everywhere, man. So Bronny got picked up, 55th pick. But I mean, Bronny has a lot of potential. I think he's gonna end up being like in a situation where it's like more of like a two-way kind of thing, where like he'll be like playing for the G League team, and then he'll come on for like a couple weeks.
If they need somebody because they're injuries during the end of the season or something like that.
So that's kind of what it looks like. But let's jump to NHL, man. The Panthers, man.
The Panthers won. It was such a weird win. These fools went up 3-0 in the series.
Yeah, and almost lost.
almost lost that joint. Getting that to a nail biter.
Yeah.
To a game 7.
That's crazy. They almost lost that joint. That's wild.
That's so wild. And the thing is, like, they're playing against what is it, Edmonton? I think
the Oilers. Yeah, Edmonton Oilers. Yep.
Bro, you had to fly so far. It's like the farthest point from freaking Miami.
That's a very far
South
flight.
Florida.
Yeah.
All the way to Edmonton, Canada.
All the way to Edmonton.
And you got to go back because the last 3 games.
Yeah.
Like 1-1.
Yeah.
Bro, save yourself a flight, bro. You just got to win one more. You couldn't do that.
That's a lot of gas.
A lot of fuel that we just burning the atmosphere just then, man, because y'all fools couldn't close out.
Yeah,
3-0.
Well, 3-0, they almost blew the but that's crazy. They almost blew the bag.
Well, they got it. They got this. They won the Stanley Cup, and the Stanley Cup is supposed to be like the most prestigious trophy in sports. It's the oldest in American sports, at least. You know what I mean? So it's since the 1890s or something like that. This trophy's been around. You know what I mean? This
really?
organized,
Wow.
but it was a Canada thing, and then like all the teams expanded and all that stuff, and then like you got the U.S. teams.
Yeah.
So that's what a lot of them play back and forth with the U.S. and Canada. So like I think Canada's gone a long time. They've been on a drought since they went. This is their trophy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's been decades since the Canada team won.
And to lose to a team that's in the South.
In the South, bro.
Like the South
look good for you.
Yeah, that looks kind of crazy.
Yeah. Y'all could do that. Y'all could do practices outdoors up there. Over here, we have to facilities.
You feel me? So, that's wild.
Shout out to Florida Panthers when so Marlins got a win.
Yeah,
Marlins, I mean, as a franchise, Panthers got one now. Yeah. Of course, University of Miami had all that freaking.
And he got their finals wins years back.
Yeah, he got finals wins. So we got Dolphins. Well, the Dolphins has been doing in a drought. They've been in a drought. They got the 2 Super Bowls, but since the 70s, come on, that's been drought. So we need to get some more winning back in a couple different places there.
We got a lot of for sure. We got a lot of people running fast too, and qualifying with these trials. What you got?
Yeah, these Olympic trials just went down. A bunch of people just punched their ticket.
Sha'Carri ran a 10.7. That's pretty solid. That's very good.
Yep. Yeah. So she won the 100, but she didn't actually even place. She got 4th in the 200.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean, the hopes of getting the double. You know what I mean, doing the double. You know what I mean, the double gold in Paris. Not this time around for her, but she ran fast and what was it? Gabby Thomas gave the indication that she's going to be improving from her bronze in Tokyo. She ran a 21.8 in that 200. So looks like she's moving.
Yeah.
And on the fella side, Noah Lyles.
Oh,
this dude here.
These guys unstoppable.
He ran 19.5, and then he ran 9.8 in the 100.
Bro, 983, bro, is so crazy, bro. He's just
I was thinking about
moving,
that.
bro.
It's moving, but like I know he would want the world record though.
Well, yeah, I mean, but he got to run like he got to run like a 9.6 though, like a 9. That's
9.5
9.5.
9.53 is
Yeah.
the world record, and like
Yeah, like
I don't think he's gonna run 9. I don't think he's gonna run 9.6.
I don't think I'll give him at best right now in this. I think
it's gonna be the Olympics, and everybody's pushing. It's no longer training. This is for the the trophy here.
I give him at best. I personally that's my favorite to win it for the Olympics for the 100. I give him a 9.7. I think he can get a 9.7, but getting to the 9.6,
yeah,
I don't think so.
In a month or so.
In a month or so, yeah. I mean, it's possible, but like I mean, unless his legs could stretch a little longer, so. Oh no,
bro, that 9.5 gonna be sitting there for a minute, bro.
That 9.5 is different. Yeah,
that's gonna be sitting there for a minute. Shout out to Kung Fu Kenny. He ran 19.5 in the 200, and so he got second there. So he's going.
He ran a good time too. He ran a 9.8 as well. He ran a very good time.
Yeah, so he's moving. So he should be someone to look out for actually in in the finals as well at the actual Olympics. And on the Jamaican side, shout out to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price.
Yeah, she qualified again.
Yeah, Shelly-Ann Fraser. I'm sorry. She this lady's like 37 years old.
Bro, she is a robot. She's a robot, bro. Like she's a cyborg.
37 years old, dog. This is her 5th Olympics.
Her 5th one, bro.
The mommy rocket.
Yeah, she's just, bro.
The mommy rocket. She just made it again in the 100, man.
Yeah, so bro, that's impressive.
Shout out to her. She's that's the Jamaican side, so and sorry, you're gonna have to like face the U.S. women, but like but she made it, but now 3rd place. You know what I mean? So I can't see her making the podium in Paris.
I don't think. I mean, you never know. Some people they get that adrenaline juice and they do like a wild performance. But I mean, I don't see her getting anything less than 4th though. I don't see her getting anything.
Well, fourth don't place at the.
But 4th don't place. Yeah, 4th don't place.
Don't place
yeah, I don't see her being on the podium though.
So to wrap up sports here, we talked about before the Major League MLB, Major League Baseball would start incorporating some of the stats from the Negro League. As much as they've had like a study and statisticians working on this for years, and so they've started doing that, and already
see your boy Josh Gibson.
White people are hot, boy Josh Gibson. Yeah. It becomes one of the greatest sluggers in history from Negro League. Is now listed as the new all-time career leading at bat, over Ty Cobb. Also, Josh Gibson overtakes Babe Ruth for career slugging percentage.
Oh, they mad. Ooh, they so hard. They mad.
Oh, I'm sorry to tell you. You should have had your boys going to get some real competition.
Yeah,
they had him hitting to get some real competition. Sorry. Yeah. And matter of fact, low key, you probably should add some more to. You probably should add some more to Josh Gibson's number, because
you probably should.
If you had him facing the batters and the pitchers that y'all was
man, listen,
everything would have went yard.
Bing. What was that? What's the name of that kid that was like, my name is so and I hit diggers.
I never heard that.
I can't remember his name.
I hit dingers. I hit dingers. I hit dingers. Yep. That's what would have happened. But you know what? Fine, we won't rub it in all the way. We'll just keep these stats the way they is. But shout out to them. I also want to shout out Willie Mays, who also gained 10 hits. From his that added from the when he was 1948, he played for Birmingham, and that increased his total to 3,293. And unfortunately, not too long ago, right the day before Juneteenth, we lost Willie Mays. Died at the age of 93 of heart failure. Basically, you're old, you know what I mean? Your stuff starts failing and stuff. So he was an amazing, he was voted like one of the top 10, in terms of like MLB historians and all that kind of stuff. One of these top 10 players. The all-time team. Yeah. This dude won Rookie of the Year his first year. He had 20 home runs when he first joined the National League. So he had all kinds of like accolades and everything, and Overall, just a pioneer in the sport. So, rest in power, Willie Mays.
Yeah, for sure. Sure, rest in power, brother.
What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I got to give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button, because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too.
In life, you have challenges. Darwin and I are just like y'all. We all have challenges. From time to time, we like to share it with you guys. So, with that being said, bro, you have a challenge you want to share with the folks?
I do this, and I'm gonna kind of flip it, and make it kind of like a challenge that I'm putting out into the world to make the world a better place. It's making it a lot easier place for us. I'm doing y'all a favor.
We're gonna see how this goes.
We just had when we're recording this a couple weeks ago, we had Juneteenth. Juneteenth recently became a federal holiday. So just like any other federal holiday, federal government's gonna be closed. Well, at least like 99% of it's gonna be closed, and a lot of companies, definitely companies that serve, a lot of companies that serve the federal government are going to be closed for business. The private sector, they observe just like you would do any other holiday, like Memorial Day and Thanksgiving, things like that. And so, there's been some complaints coming from people like, oh, Juneteenth shouldn't be a holiday. Why are we celebrating Juneteenth? You know what I mean? It's dumb, or mostly white people.
Of course.
It's like that whole thing with with the CRT, and then like erasing Black history out of stuff. They don't want that. They don't want celebration of things that are like, oh no, these uppity Black people giving them too much. Weakest reparation ever. Okay, we got the holiday, but the weakest reparation ever. But okay, we'll take it. But it's like, the thing is, I think that, okay, what has been traditionally definitely been celebrated for decades amongst Black folk, especially Black folk in the South, particularly in Texas, they've been celebrating Juneteenth forever. They have traditions, they have fashion shows and food, traditional foods, and all kinds of events, talent shows that they do on Juneteenth, commemorating, recognizing, the fight overall for, human rights and equality is the general principle. So why did it fall on Juneteenth? June 19th is in, when the Emancipation Proclamation.
Yes.
When Abraham Lincoln made that proclamation, it took 2 years for these folks in Texas to get the news. Mind you, you've been quote unquote free, pseudo free, declared to be free for 2 years. just took that.
I mean, which was by design. We know why.
But also, you don't have the internet. You know what I mean? You can't just pick up the WhatsApp or on Twitter. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, here we's free. You know what I mean? Hashtag freedom. Hashtag railroad. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my god.
You didn't have that. But so, coupled with the fact that, I'm pretty sure some white folks slow walk that news.
Oh, they absolutely did. Absolutely.
And not just that, it's also like, okay, yeah, you made a proclamation, but you got to come get my
You gotta enforce it.
You got to force me. You know what I mean? Make it happen. And so, it's commemorated on June 19th because of this particular verse. So it's not when it's not when the proclamation happened. It's because of this event of when the news got down to Texas. But I think this should be expanded. I think the whole celebration should be expanded. Like, it's a federal holiday now, but like, if Black folks want to make sure that we keep this thing and that it doesn't go the way of the dodo bird, the challenge here is whenever you hear somebody say Juneteenth, oh, we shouldn't have it, Black or white, whoever will say it, it's a made up holiday. First of all, we have plenty of made up holidays. Valentine's Day, Father's Day, Mother's Day, that's all made up.
That's true.
You know what I mean? There was no specific day on the calendar that all mothers were born on. So shut the fuck.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? It's made it up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And so like what it is, first of all, okay, yes, it's made up. just like all the other ones are made up, specific day. But it's a day to say, yeah, fuck slavery.
Yeah.
And then you look at them dead in the eyes and be like,
Yeah.
do you agree or disagree with that statement? Look at them dead in the eyes and be like, well, no. Okay, then it's a day to celebrate that. The hell with slavery. Up with human equality. Like, do you agree or not? Somebody be like, I disagree with that bit. Oh, snap, this nigga racist. Oh, come on now, you racist? No, you know what I mean? Like, dang, you can't even celebrate freedom. But that's clearly, that tells you where the person stands, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We have to start couching it in that perspective of being like, it's a celebration of freedom.
Yeah.
Just like do you celebrate freedom?
Just like Independence Day, right?
Yeah, like Independence Day. There you go. Another day in the summer to grill out and barbecue. You know, you can't come to the cookout.
Yeah.
Y'all got you. Go over there and barbecue. You can't come to the cookout, but you can go barbecue over there. But it's all because you're celebrating freedom. Now, the thing is.
But you know what it is, bro. It's because white folks want to be included, man. They just want to be included in everything.
Go do y'all barbecues over there. but here's the thing. And you're right. The thing is, as we expand it, because we want, I want everybody to celebrate so that we can keep it as a thing and so that we can have this. But the thing is, you kind of got to learn why the name is that name. And then that's going to mean you got to talk about slavery. And you got to talk about who was enslaved and who was overseers and who was like slave owners. You have to have that conversation.
Sound like they want to skip over that conversation.
You know what I mean? But like, can you call it something else? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you have to have that whole conversation about that, right?
Conversation, yep.
But also the thing is, there's a risk of it becoming Labor Day. And Labor Day is so commercialized.
Yeah, Labor Day is one of those days. Just like, we got off that day. That's what Labor Day is.
Bro, it was to honor America's working class and workers and celebrate that we're just all oligarchy here in America. We're just all corporate takeover and everything. The workers really are just like pegs, and we just like pawns and just like grind them to a pulp and so this day is to celebrate the actual laborer. Labor Day.
Yeah.
And we were trying to see what mattress we could get on sale. That's all we looking for.
Pretty much.
Like, come on, dog.
Yeah.
So there's that risk of expanding it can lead to where it becomes so watered down 10 years from now, 20 years from now. It loses kind of all that meaning, and only maybe some far quiet corner somewhere is celebrating Labor Day today the right way. They have like a speech somewhere, nobody freaking hears it because it does. It falls. It's like a tree falling in the woods with nobody here to hear it. So you run that kind of risk, and so But yeah, while we still got it, you know what I mean. Everybody celebrate freedom. That's all. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So if somebody talking to you about Juneteenth is stupid and it shouldn't be a thing, that's the challenge. Do you celebrate freedom or you're down with slavery? That's the option.
10 Commandments, is that how you want to start, bro? What is that all about?
Well, I mean, Louisiana passed a law requiring that the 10 Commandments will be displayed in public schools in Louisiana.
Okay.
I don't know why they keep doing. I'm not talking about Louisiana specifically, but like, bro, it's been tried. Y'all been trying to do this forever. Y'all keep trying to put the 10 Commandments in the classroom, and y'all keep getting shot down. It keeps getting challenged in court, and they're gonna get shot down. It's gonna happen again. Why y'all want to, you already know the First Amendment tells you it prohibits the government from making any law respecting an establishment of religion.
Yeah,
furthermore, to unduly favor one religion over another. This specifically comes from the Bible.
Yeah,
and so
it does.
It's one specific religion. You're clearly, dog, this is the easiest, dog. I don't even need to go to law school. You're clearly picking one religion to display, and you've codified it into law. You're calling it the 10 Commandments. That's the law. It says 10 Commandments. Don't say general principles of any religion you want. It says 10 Commandments. And this stuff from the Bible. But why? What do you think is gonna what do you think is gonna solve? This is what I just don't get it. What do you think is gonna resolve? What do you think what effect do you think it'll have, Jeff, putting 10 commandments into schools?
What effect? Well, I have more of a.
What do you think they're looking for? Why do you think they want so hard to put that in schools?
Well, it was what was in school before? I mean, they had the Pledge of Allegiance, and
they still do that
in school. They still do that. There's, I mean, obviously they want people to be more familiar with the tenets of these commandments that are in Scripture. There's a particular view that obviously this governor wants people to have, as citizens of Louisiana. Mm-hmm. I think the hope is that people actually read the commandments, and after seeing it repeatedly, start to ingest it. But it's clearly, it's clearly religiously motivated. I mean, I personally, you know how I feel about like people who call themselves Christian but aren't really that. Like, I really feel like this is like really. I feel like this is more religious than anything. I don't think a lot of these politicians are actually like people who genuinely like live out what Scripture says, and what they tout. It's more of like opportunity, and it's more like playing the part. That's kind of how I feel about it. But I think that's what they're trying.
Do you think they really believe that they're gonna like make better people?
No,
they're gonna like.
I do not.
People are like, what? What's the 10 Commandments? Can you get that up real quick?
Pull it up. Yeah, I can pull it up.
The 10 Commandments. Read to me the 10 Commandments, Jeff. Like, they want to make better people out of these kids and try to ingrain them from the. What's the 10 Commandments?
Okay, so the first one, you shall have no other gods before me. You want me to read all 10 of them?
I mean,
okay. Or you want me to read?
Okay, so you shall have no other. Okay, so just love God love God more than anything else. Okay,
yes,
gotcha.
Yes. Second one, you shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God. So, I'm not saying not using God's name in vain and all that. You know when you hear that, use God's name in vain. That's what that whole.
Okay.
When people say that, yeah, you shall not misuse.
Don't make anything more important than God. Okay.
Facts.
Okay.
Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy.
And
this is likely the reason why a lot of churches have obviously like
Sabbath day.
Yeah. Sabbath day.
So is that Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
And that's different doctrinally, right? Because 7-day Adventists, they'll have it on Saturday. Usually a lot of Christian circles, even non-denominational, we meet on Sundays. We believe Sunday is a Sabbath.
Bro, it really sounded like those first 4. Was that 4 you just read?
I just read. No, that's the third one. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. The Sabbath day is a day of rest. That's what that is.
Okay.
But that's the third one. So it's not only a day of rest, but it's a day of holiness, right? So the fourth one, right? Honor your father and your mother.
Okay, hold on. Those first 3, bro, they sound like exactly the same thing. Do you need those 3? Do they sound exactly the same thing?
Guys, before you should not miss them.
Those first 3 are like, yo, worship God. That's worship God and like the top guy. He's the top guy. Worship him.
Well, it's saying, okay, don't worship no other God.
It's like 3 different ways to say the same.
You should not misuse the name of the Lord your God. Okay, don't
worship God.
Don't say my don't use my name.
And then take a day off. And then take a day off to worship God.
By keeping it holy, by spending time with God.
To worship God.
Oh my
Same
God.
thing. I could have saved y'all some ink, man.
Oh wow.
The chisel, okay. The jewelry. I could say, okay, go ahead. What's the next one?
The next one, the fifth one, you shall not murder.
Okay, no, you said father, mother. Is that
honor your father and your mother? That's the fourth one. Honor your father and your mother.
Honor your father. So even if he's it's incest, you're a victim of incest, something like you're supposed to just honor your father.
Well, okay. I mean, there's ways to honor.
And even if your parent, one of them a crackhead or something like that, and okay, but you're supposed to honor your father.
There's different ways of honoring people, and then one way of doing that is keeping your distance. that can be a way of just honoring your space.
Honor your space.
honor.
That don't say honor your space. Honor father and mother.
Yeah, I mean, but you can keep your distance, pray for them, and I mean that's you can do those things. So I mean, there's different ways of doing it. So that's what I'm saying. It's just, but that's what it says here. Okay. So honor your father and your mother. That's the fourth one. The fifth one is you should not murder. Pretty straightforward. The sixth one.
Wait. So, by whose definition? Who's defining murder?
Oh my gosh, no, this. Okay,
I mean,
is this the same? Is this the same rabbit hole of like one man's freedom fighters, another man's terrorists? Is this the same rabbit hole?
I could be saying murder. Like, I mean, who's saying who's
Okay.
who's judging that one?
All right.
And the laws back when this joint was written, BC, whatever. What's considered murder then versus what's considered murder now?
I think it's the same. I think it's kind of the same though, because murder is the difference between the main proponent of what murder is that it's premeditated. That's the main tenet of what murder.
That's what we interpreting it now. That joint could have been basically saying don't kill nobody. Don't kill nobody. That's not the legal definition of murder. That would they'll say what was it? What did it read?
I mean, the legal definition of murder is it has to be premeditated for sure.
No, but like it ain't the word murder ain't always been meaning that same thing.
Okay.
It could have been. It could have said something like, "Don't strike another person down." And then we.
Over the
years, we say now we use the word murder.
Okay.
So just striking another person down, like.
Yeah,
I would say who's on the right side of that, because also then later on, Jesus talking about turning the other cheek and all that guys. Okay, all right, but you're not supposed to murder. Okay, what else is next?
Okay, you shall not commit adultery is the next one. That's the sixth one. You shall not commit adultery.
Oh, why do kids don't commit adultery? They're not married. Why do kids know this? They don't commit adultery.
I mean, clearly.
They don't even know what that word means. And guess what you're doing? You're introducing the concept of sex to kids. Is what you're doing.
Yeah, that is
the classroom.
That is a double-edged sword.
Adultery. You gotta explain what that is.
You do. That's true.
That's a sex conversation.
That's true.
And y'all talking about all this freaking sex stuff. Y'all need to get the sex education, all this stuff out of the schools. It seems y'all can stepping on your message. Don't commit adultery. Okay.
The next one is you shall not steal. Are you gonna say that's a different this is the terminology for
don't take anything that isn't yours? I don't know, maybe black people from Africa. Just hypothetically. Oh no, but we're gonna then bring them over here and pound it to them.
We all know
slaves obey your masters. Okay.
There's a lot of documentation, historical documents that's been misused to it's been a lot of misuse there. It's been a lot of misuse there. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Ooh, boy, that's doing a lot of lifting.
I'm just saying it's relevant.
Oh my God. Okay.
The next one is you shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. So
like don't lie on people?
Yeah, just don't lie on folks. Yeah, just don't lie on folks.
Don't lie on folks. Okay. That's good. You shouldn't be lying on people.
You should not cover.
I mean, like, bro, why didn't they end slavery in the Ten Commandments?
Oh my God.
You had 10. You had 10, and the first 3 are the same.
The first 3 are not the same.
You could have saved one, plus like slide in slavery. They're like, yeah, don't do the slave thing. It's not a good look. Slavery thing, like right there, could have been like you must have been cool. Okay, so guy wrote this. It was like slavery didn't make the top 10.
Slavery was likely not even supposed to be a thing to happen. 10, I'm pretty sure slavery was not a thing that shouldn't have even been a concept to be conjured up. Oh, hey friends, welcome to the Vibes.
That was so good.
All right, it's time for the vibes, y'all. It's the vibes. So we got a couple for y'all to be familiar with. And bro, with that being said, go ahead and kick it off for us. What you got for us?
We mentioned him before, RJ Payne. This dude does not stop working. He had 4 albums in 2022, 4 in 2023, and now he just put out another one in 2024. So this is the second one this year already. He just be putting a bunch of work. So it's called Hellraiser, RJ Payne. So check it out. It's a short one. This one is pretty short and sweet. 7 tracks.
Oh, so you can get.
No. It's a full length album. Kanye started that joint where you could do 7 songs. And consider it an album. That's the minimum. The parameters is the minimum.
If you're gonna do 7 songs,
it felt short,
bro.
Yeah, Kanye started that joint, and then people started doing it. Well, he wasn't the first to it, but like he brought back that kind of structure.
Okay.
But it's the minimum number that you need to qualify for, like,
For an album.
awards and all that. And it
Okay.
could be considered a full album.
Okay.
And there needs to also be a total listen time as well. So you could have 7 tracks and like make one track a little bit longer to like get the total listen time kind of thing done. Also, for honorable mention time, oh man, we just finished 2024's Black Music Month with NPR. And bro, remember we talked about the other dude retiring? They got a new guy now, man. That boy is curating his ass off this month.
Absolutely.
The performers we've had on Tiny Desk, you gotta go check them out. Brittany Spencer, she was on Beyonce's country album. Brittany Spencer does her own country music, and she's I think her last album was My Stupid Life or something about my life or something like that. But like she's excellent. Michelle Ngiocello was also there. She's like Black Panther meets James Baldwin kind of like vibey music kind of thing. So like Black empowerment, all kind of stuff music. So she's always amazing classic music. She was with Grammy. I think she might have won a Grammy before too. Shaka Khan, Queen of Funk. Shaka Khan had a Tiny Desk. Tierra Whack, we featured Tierra Whack.
Shaka Khan at Tiny Desk is lit, bro. That's fine.
Shaka Khan's already tiny herself, so she like it was like a giant desk with her there. But Tierra Whack, she's from Philly, and she actually brought the Philly Fanatic out on the Tiny Desk and doing the thing. So she always repping Philly hard. Tim's, she recently came out with a new recent album, so Tim's is out on promotion for that. SWV. If you haven't watched
SWV,
boy, they just sound like they from the 90s, dog. It's like that voice hits that microphone different. Yeah. SWV, dog, is out of time. So that was I think that was the final one for the month. And so it was just like perfect. And they're going on tour. They're going on tour with I think Total and Escape. I think
bro.
It's about to be lit for the old heads like this summer, man. So look, I guess go visit Ticketmaster and all of them, and pay all those extra fees that they freaking robbing y'all.
Facts.
Another honorable mention is Le Good Life, right? This is a YouTube channel. This dude, he mixes Afro house, right? And I love the way he films these things. It's a 2-hour video of just him just like mixing, right? And he films it in a way like he always does it at like dusk, so that like there's still a bunch of sunlight out, but by the time you've been listening to this thing for an hour and the sun has been setting and the vibes is all changing and everything, and it's getting more, and then like by the time you like the last 45 minutes 30 minutes of the performance, it's nighttime. And like you got different like nightclub lights, lounge lights and stuff that's played. Like it's like a whole vibe, right? Like I know the word vibe could be overused, but like I got the projector joint. I got the projector set up here. If I'm having a house party or something, I could just throw him on the screen. It's just him mixing. It's like I ordered a DJ. You know what I mean? And he sets the whole vibe. And especially if I start my party around the same kind of sunset time, dog. And that joint transitions with the party with the windows here.
Might have something there. You might have something there.
that was an idea I've been thinking of, dog. Dog, he sets up like this whole universe for you, and like you feel like you're there. It's just it looks like if I had a spirit, I would say it lifted my spirits. Yeah, God, that's what I said. So like, check it out. It's called Let Good Life.
These strays are getting out of control, man.
I'm speaking personally, my own experience, right?
Okay. Right.
And so you check that out on YouTube. Now, the last thing, in terms of honorable mention, it would be remiss if I didn't mention the Pop Out. Ken and Friends.
Oh, here we go.
The Pop Out. That bit was on Amazon Prime. Talk about dancing on a nigga grave. This dude had a whole show. I feel like the whole show was for Drake.
Yeah,
It was to.
It was.
This has been the Kendrick has had given us the greatest rap beef victory of all time with the greatest song of any rap. Even yes, I know Hit 'Em Up. Yes, I've heard. I've heard No Vaseline. Okay, yes, I know. Ether was like my number 2 after Hit 'Em Up. But Not Like Us. Not Like Us has just qualified for a Grammy, a diss track. Qualified. The joint went platinum.
This man Kendrick is a genius, bro. Yeah, certified genius, bro. Like that's just
different.
He's different, bro. Like he's just.
Oh my gosh.
He's different.
Drake, bro. I didn't think. I was like, yes, Kendrick won the rap. But I was like, could Drake possibly be Ja Rule?
Yeah, see, now you do too much.
I feel like after this show, I feel like there's a chance that Kendrick legit buried Drake's career.
No. Drake is too big. He's too big of a star. He took
Ja Rule was on the top of that mountain. Granted, not as long as Drake.
Not on the level that Drake.
The thing is, Drake has a longevity with it that made that mountain kind of build a little bit bigger. But like in terms of the hotness, Ja Rule was on the top of that mountain.
Bro, Drake is. I think you're underestimating Drake's stardom, man.
I think you're underestimating how deep Kendrick is buried. He played. Not Like Us. Five times. Was it 5 times?
Yeah. Drake is
5 times in a row.
I'm not gonna cap. Drake definitely took a crazy haymaker. He took a crazy haymaker from Kendrick.
No, there's no getting up for that.
But I think
a KO.
No. I mean, hey, you live to fight another day.
He can come back and fight another day, I guess. But like, bro, he is.
But I think Drake is big enough. But I think, yeah, it was absolutely. But I think Drake is. You know what it is? You know what it was? It was that the Chinese bronze bomber versus Deontay. That's what that was.
Kind of hanging up.
Yeah, it's like
up.
Like Deontay is like one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, and Drake is gonna be that. That's just one of the greatest rappers of all time, musicians, whatever you want to call him. So I think Drake's stardom will be able to survive this because of how
he'll survive it, but he ain't gonna be the same Drake no more. He ain't gonna be this like hit maker.
Yeah. People look at him differently for sure.
For sure, like he's not gonna get the numbers that he used to get. I think this would.
No, I think he will. I think he will. No, he knows he knows.
He might. I think he can coast, but I don't know if he's gonna be like number one, like chart toppers. You think he's gonna, he's like people gonna still like be trying to stream and stuff like that? I think
so, cause he
check it for him,
bro. It's just like Chris Brown. People thought Chris Brown's career was over with the whole Rihanna thing, but this man's streams are insane. his bro. He. As a matter of fact, Chris Brown has gone. He's going even crazier after all of this. Like he's become even more.
Well, he's had a long time.
Yeah, to recover
his numbers back.
But that's what I'm saying about Drake. Like I think Drake is going to give him some time for him to get that kind of like that effect again. Like he's going to have to kind of build up. He has a stardom where like it's not going to set him back so much where it's like, dang, I feel like I got to start from the ground up kind of thing. But
okay,
that boy took
Jonathan Majors begs to differ. I'm just saying, Jonathan Majors begs to differ. He's making a comeback too. Will Smith just sold out the box office too. Okay, so
yeah, Will Smith making a comeback. So, I mean, like, yeah, so
everybody can get up. But to get back into the pop out. Okay, so Drake was just a conduit almost, really, for what happened there at the pop out. The pop out was a celebration of hip hop. It was a celebration of specifically West Coast hip hop. It was all West Coast.
Oh, heavy West Coast,
yeah, and happened, and he did it on Juneteenth too. Kendrick did the show on Juneteenth, and he really leaned heavy
about everything.
This dude is just so smart. He's just so planned. He brought out all of these youngins from
I saw Russell
LA.
Westbrook out there.
Yep. Well, he's from
he's from LA.
from there. You know what I mean? Of course, LeBron was out there. But he's not West Coast. But like he plays for the Lakers. This is like a Lakers representative.
Yeah.
And that's a heavy freaking LA thing. But all these other people that you might have never heard of, for Blue Bucks Clan or Rucci or Rimbo, but like these are LA artists that people on the West Coast really know them like that. But like the rest of us, probably this is the first time we've heard of Jason Martin, right? Rapper out of Compton. But even the even the big names though, like, came out and represented, and it was like, even some of them, they fuck with Drake in terms of like collaborating and like being quote unquote friends and everything like that. But Tyler the Creator, Roddy Ricch, YG, Tyler, Ty Dolla $ign. These folks are they're West Coast, so it's like this is more important that I'm part of this representation and lifting up West Coast sound, West Coast music, and for Kendrick to be the king of the West, really.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
And the consciousness of the West, of the consciousness of real hip hop right now. Well, at least that's as prolific as he is. We're gonna talk about Lupe in a little bit, but like specifically on the West Coast, it's gonna be Kendrick. The biggest name that's coming out there. People wait around to hear what this dude got to say. Sold out seats to hear Biggie Small speak, kind of situation. To hear Kendrick, and he just like put the show out. Like a couple of weeks, it might have been like a month tops. And the beef conversation, the beef tracks was the predominant. He started off this thing with Euphoria. He started off the set list when he got staged with Euphoria. He goes into DNA, then Element. Oh, you're gonna get me out my element. And so it's almost like, is all of this still kind of like
just
talking about violence. Drake a little bit?
He just chose violence.
He chose violence the whole way. You know what I mean? He brought out Schoolboy Q, Ab-Soul, J-Rock. Dre even came out, and Dre is, you can't really, Snoop apparently might have had like, I think a schedule conflict, but you got to bring out the legends. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
You don't bring out Eminem. He's Detroit. Yeah, he's been rapping in the West Coast for a while, using Dre beats and stuff like that, but he reps Detroit. This was an LA heavy thing, so it's like, not only that, but you brought all the factions and crews that usually would be shooting each other on a night like today, on a night like that night, but came together in a peaceful way. They came and went peacefully. They had rehearsals before this, where everybody was like, Mustard and Head was choreographing the music, and music direction, all that kind of. And it was just like they all did that because they saw the bigger picture, and Kendrick was the one to be the freaking conductor.
The conduit of all that, yeah.
The conduit of all that. That dude is different. He is a one of one. We are lucky to be around in the same age as a Kendrick, you know what I mean? And in the same era that he's doing his thing. And Drake just happened to just be the conduit of it, bro. I'm sorry. You got to take one for the team. You really you know what I mean? You really fucks with the culture. You got to realize, be able to step back, Drake, and be like, look what they did. They did this amazing thing. I always say, you had to volunteer as tribute, man. That was on you. Ain't nobody tell you there's no big three. Nobody asked you about that thought. Shut your mouth. You know what I mean? And they did. That boy Kendrick into that joint with Not Like Us.
Yeah.
5 times. Had niggas sea walking and everything on your grave, right? He brought out dancers. The two ladies came out. It was dancing and crumping on your grave,
bro. It's funny because I was thinking about because J. Cole was a part of this early on, and now looking back,
that boy J. Cole is like,
now looking back, people are like, now you see why J. Cole bowed out.
J. Cole was like, no, Ken was like, bro, this ain't even about you. Trust me.
Yeah.
This ain't really about you, bro. Trust.
He's like, all right, cool. I'm stepping back then.
Good day, sir.
Yeah.
You do you.
Yeah.
You do you. And that, he had already won, dog. The nigga shit was nominated for Grammy, dog. Like, it was like, stop.
But
He's
but
already dead.
The track is so, but that track is so crazy, man. It's not even. I'm not even surprised that it's nominated for a Grammy. It's but what makes it impressive?
No,
Like
it's eligible. It's eligible for Grammy.
It's eligible for Grammy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What makes it like different is that the fact that it's a diss track. That's
Diss
eligible.
track,
a whole diss track, bro.
And
they got nothing to do with nothing.
And the thing is, like, Drake one of the lines Drake used was like, "You rap like you're trying to free the slaves." Kid you to that personally.
Yeah, clearly.
He literally like freed the slaves. He united Compton. He united freaking LA.
Yeah.
He really did like freaking freed like the black community in a kind of way. You know what I mean? Bringing them together and everything from the violence, freeing them, like. And then he made a bop. So
like and that's why
he did
that's
it
why
and
it
made
hits
a
so
bop
different
with it
because it's actually a bop.
Yeah, I'm freeing the slaves and I made it into a bop. Like, I'm capable. Like, bro, you was not ready for this 4-dimensional chess game.
Yeah, that's low key it was 4-dimensional. I ain't gonna lie. He was like, I thought of everything with this.
And
track.
He hasn't even dropped a music video yet. Jeff, he's about to have a music video.
But you know, bro, that music video gotta go crazy though. Like he can't short it. He can't lowball it. He can't
you see his
it gotta go crazy, bro.
You see his music videos from
I see it.
You see the choreography and everything.
Yeah.
You saw his stage shows. I saw him at the with the Grammys with
I see it. But that's why I was like, but he's already set the bar so high for his artistry. Like when I saw some of those things,
even the production for this drum, when they go wow, that camera work. Like, wait a minute, how did you get all this set up already?
How'd you get set up like that? Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like that music video is gonna have to be like, I mean, it's gonna have to be another. Like it's gonna have to be next level. Like because he's already set the bar so high. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna have to be next level. Like, I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if he dropped like a whole album. Like a legitimate album. You know what I'm saying? Like a surprise album. You know what I'm saying? That's like, oh wait, we're used to you dropping albums every 3, 4, 5 years. You just
Mr. Morale is just, is still cooking.
It is. But imagine him dropping another one. There's like, whoa. This is still in the Komodo. It's still smoking in the Komodo. Yeah. You dropping another. You feel me? Like, I mean, he's been hitting people like from unpredictable shots, clearly. So I don't know.
Okay.
He got the momentum.
Hey, don't mess with Kung Fu Kenny. That's what you learn from this one. Okay, humble thyself.
Yeah, he on it. He on it.
Moving on to our featured albums. We didn't even really cover the beef like that when it was really going on. We just the way we recorded, but like we had to definitely cover that part with the pop out. But first featured album today is Oswald, Haitian singer. Oxygen, right? The album is called Oxygen, right? Yep. His voice engineering is amazing, right? Granted, in the chorus, he tends to like lean into some auto tunes a lot when he does the different chorus, but the verses are himself, and so, but I just think it just sounds amazing. Like whoever like structures, whoever's the I think Beyonce did this, the audio engineer, but like there was a specific thing like when Beyonce did her album, it was called something, not just the audio engineer, it was like a voice producer.
You talking about the audio tune?
No, the voice producer. Just like there's a specific, like, you have a songwriter, you have the singer, and then there was the engineer. There was like a voice. There was like a voice title or something like that Beyonce did for her album, like mixing or whatever, right? Okay. Whoever does the voice mixing. Anyways, his joint is amazing over here. His harmonies sound amazing. Sound great. So whoever the audio engineer overall, what they're doing, they just gotta keep going that up, bro. And listen to this album. It reminds me how I keep bringing this up. There's no reason this stuff isn't exportable. It's a lot of compa, granted, but you have songs like the title track Oxygen, that could play you could be able to play that anywhere.
That joint got 1.5 million views, but that's fire.
You should be able to play that anywhere. Freaking Pedzi Compa is another one. Pedzi Compa has like it's like a merengue kind of compa, kind of like you put Bad Bunny on that track. That joint is doing.
Pezi Control. I see Pezi Control.
Pezi Control, yeah, Pezi Control, Pezi Control. That one, like, you could, if you put Bad Bunny on that track, you would.
Oh, that's gonna go insane.
You would never even know what Bad Bunny's talking about if he does it in Spanish, and that joint would go insane.
But Bad Bunny is one of the biggest artists, international artists.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, if the song is that good,
yeah,
you know what I mean. All you just need is a name on there. There's certainly no. And I say Bad Bunny specifically because you sometimes don't be understanding what Bad Bunny be saying in his songs, but the songs be riding.
But it hit, yeah.
It hit. Yeah. And so that's all. This song hits, and there should be no way. And then he also has a lot of visuals that he puts out with his joint. He's got like some original full-length videos, and then other ones where he's like very like low budget kind of production, but he still could kind of like, he'll set up the lighting in a room and he'll sing to the camera. You know what I mean? It looks really well, really well done, but it's like he's not paying for cars, he's not paying for an apartment, he's not paying for a pool or hotel room. It's just like he's in this room. You know what I mean? And like the way the lighting is dramatically going, and he has the lyrics scrolling on the screen. It's like, cool, put that video out. You know what I mean? And that's cool. But then he actually has like full length production kind of music videos as well. He's also leaning into like the 90s R&B vibe. He's got the turtleneck with the thing. So it's kind of like there's a little bit of a formula. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that song Oxygen is he puts it all together. It's all put together. So definitely check out that track. Check out the album. Highly recommended. The next up is Kalani. Album is called Crash. Love the album cover first and foremost. The way that design, I always have this thing, I keep bringing it up when these album covers, especially with these women, when like they're just so sex forward. Like, look at my titties, and that just gets you to buy. That's supposed to give me the album. Like,
pretty much, you
can still be sexy without just being like, here's sex, right? Yeah. I think, and that album cover kind of does that, where it's a form-fitting outfit, but it's very artsy. The album is called Crash, and she's on this crashed car, and the type of
yes, I see what's going on.
Pantsuit that the bottom of her is like
pretty cool.
It's metallic, and it blends into the crash of the car. It almost like she's part of the accident, the actual car crash. She like out of that, you see her at the top of her body is like a regular dress, so she's coming out of that. So it's very artsy visual. I really like that. This is her 4th album. She's R&B, but it's a lot of genre bending that kind of happens on this album. She's categorizing R&B singer, but like, bro, I swear I hear some like grunge guitar and some like, but she's like R&B singing over it. There's definitely some more melodic moments that happen. It's like, okay, yeah, this is your classic, maybe kind of pop track, but then I hear that guitar again. I hear that, and then a little bit of a twang. It's like, is this country? Is this rock country?
Yeah.
Like, so she did mention in an interview that like she had worries before that she was getting put into a box, and like that kind of like stunted her a little bit creatively, I guess. And so this is kind of like she did a lot of experimentation, and she embraced exploration, and had fun. And this is that type of album, mixing like some synth, like some English synth pop with like also like I said, some like grunge guitar, but like hip hop bass lines.
Okay.
It's almost like a J-Lo, you know what I mean? Like you would think J-Lo on the block kind of thing, but it's a good album. Very, it's a little bit it's a little bit of a risky album. So, give it a listen. I think I enjoyed it. I think I will go back to the album. Okay. Next up, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Nope, they didn't drop a new album. But this is the 25th anniversary of Californication. Californication, man. Summer 1999, that joint dropped.
Bruh, you know what's so cool about like Red Hot Chili Peppers? Like they always had like low-key bops though.
They always had something on the charts.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They always had something on the charts.
Era. They always got something
in every
on the
era,
charts.
yeah. In every era, and it was just like, and it was always like a like a clean kind of bop. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of like
Yeah.
just
And so
chilling,
that's
walking
why
somewhere.
it
It's like,
was Red Hot Chili Peppers is an introduction to a lot of people that traditionally probably wouldn't be listening to rock music. Red
yeah,
Hot Chili Peppers kind
that's
of
a
got them
very
in
good
there.
description. Yeah, they like an intro. Yeah, that's a very good
And the
description.
thing is because
Yes.
the funk
Yeah.
was brought by Jean Frachance. So this is their guitarist, right?
Okay,
And
okay.
also Flea, the bass guitarist,
Yeah,
Flea.
Fleetwood Mac.
The funk of their
Mm.
sound, you know what I mean? Sound funk. And so like, you know, that's the black people stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We want some funkadelic kind of sound, you know,
Absolutely.
we started from coming out of the 80s and 90s. They've been around. So this is Californication was their 7th album.
They've been around. They've been around since the dawn of time, bro.
They've been around forever, yo. And but like with John having drug issues and stuff like that, he, you know, the band just like they went through a lot of turmoil. You know what I mean? That after that first run of albums,
like every
they
band.
they traveled the world. They had songs like you say all over the charts like that, and drugs and disagreements kind of like
it's the rock star life. They live that rock star life like so many other bands.
I was reading I didn't read the whole thing. Anthony Kiedis, right? His biography. I was kind of thumbing through it before this a while ago, and like I was interested in like the music because I really like the way the poetry that comes out of their lyrics and stuff. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna talk about the music. He really doesn't. He just talks about drugs and the young women he sleeps with. It's like and here's a little bit about music, and then now back to the drugs and the dude's like 61 years old now, by the way.
You know what that reminds me of? Have you ever seen that show with the guy that used to be in that that the X-Files show?
The show was called Californication.
The show's called Californication. Yeah.
Californication. Yeah.
And
David
like,
Duchovny.
David Duchovny. And like what you're talking about is literally how he lived his life in the show.
Yeah. On the show.
He was that. On the show. Yeah. He was that. He was the embodiment of Californication.
and this is what their lifestyle. And so this is what happened is the Californication took over their life. They've really bought the freaking the Kool-Aid water of it all. And the Flea Jean Frachance leaves, and then the music I kind of like. I liked Stadium Arcadian that came after it. One of my favorite tracks on there is Death of a Martian. It got one of my favorite poems on there. He just reads it. He's just like recites a poem at the end of it all. It's freaking amazing. But then when he leaves, I kind of like fell off with every once in a while. They might have a track that'll hit, but like once he came back, and I think he had a couple. He left again and came back. I don't know. They kind of fell off, so you won't really check them. But they still been making music. I think the last album probably came out. I didn't check, but the last album I think they had one in 2019 maybe. 2020. So
wow.
A lot of their music is like it's supposed to be like subversive kind of thing, right? And like warning about buying into the life of Hollywood. Then they became that thing. And then they grew up. Like I said, he's 60. These guys are like in their 60s and late 50s now.
Yeah.
So some of their later stuff, some of the recent stuff that came out is a little bit commercial, but they're still putting the subversive message in there. Okay. So they figured, okay, we got to be mature about the delivery. So we gotta they commercialize they make it a little bit more accessible. The music itself is not like garage punk, grunge, funk, almost like what they call that genre, ska music. You know what I mean? You're not doing that anymore. That's more like more underground kind of music. And so they commercialized a little bit. But they're still doing numbers. They're still able to do that because they have partnering up with Rick Rubin, which they've been doing their entire career pretty much. And he's like, you know what Jack Antonoff does for alternative rock, pop music, Taylor Swift and all that kind of stuff. Rick Rubin does that for rock, right? Like heavy metal, like working with System of a Down, Red Hot Chili Peppers and all these guys, but anybody in the industry that wants a rock sound will go to Rick Rubin. So he even work with like sort of Mix-a-Lot, Jay-Z, when you think about like 99 Problems and there's like rock.
Because Jay-Z,
what I mean? There's rock effect to it.
He did work with Rick
Kanye,
Rubin.
Rick Rubin, like he gets you that rock sound. So like Red Hot Chili Peppers is always, that's why they've always been on the charts. This guy is like the whisperer of rock music, you know.
Yeah.
So their stuff is always going to be palatable, even before then. But like I like them best when Jean Frusciante is on the guitar, you know. And when he's not, you know, I feel like the funk is lost a little bit. But anyway, it's 25 years. And the album still holds up. It still pops. Like you put it on your speaker, and it's still like it sounds like it's fresh and still something new. It's not. It doesn't sound archaic in terms of just the way the way that the mixing and mastering happened. So go check out one more time. Run it back. Californication, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Man, shout out 1999. Man, what up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I got to give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button, because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too. Megan Thee Stallion, she's dropped her latest album. This is her first album since the you know, that lawsuit. Not the lawsuit, but the criminal case actually.
For
Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
That Tory Lanez joint. This is a good album. It's her first self-released album. She was in a dispute with her her label, I think, for like 3 years also, you know, meanwhile. So yeah, that the record dispute plus the whole Tory Lanez situation. And she sounds strong on the album, but I think
It's ratchet music.
Traumazine was a better album. It was a better Traumazine. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a better album in that it was more insightful and had a little bit more heart, showed a little bit more variety.
Oh, so you feel like this is more
in her bag?
Commercial?
It's not commercial. It's not that it's commercial. But this, okay, let me put it like this. This is weird. This is weird for me to have a critique of. Dog, this album is banger after banger after banger.
Okay.
But none of them are sticky. None of them. It's gonna do great for this summer. But you're not gonna remember any of these songs next year. Let me go run this song back because I remember that moment where I was when I first heard that song. Or you know what I mean? Or I'm going through this part of my relationship, and this song is where, you know, what gives me strength or what gives me hope. Like there's none of them. Nah. No, it's just bangers. It's just it. It's just you're gonna dance to it. You can vibe to it. I mean, and you know, she's from the South, so like you're gonna knock to it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, you put that joint, she's gonna have some knock to it.
Yeah.
But I will give her credit here. Like,
I mean,
she's a fan of anime, by the way, and everybody who knows you was a fan of hers knows she's into anime and stuff. Like, she really incorporates that into this album, that Japanese culture.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? She's even rapping in Japanese. So like, it's not that she's not creative in this joint. You know what I mean? She's still creative and she's still pushing the envelope in this other way. And she has a Japanese rapper on one of the tracks that he does a verse, you know, and she spits in Japanese on some parts herself. So, you know, it's very creative. It's, you know, and it's bangers. If you want your speakers knocking, go throw on that Megan Thee Stallion. I recommend it totally for that. But besides that, out of that album, you're not gonna get much substance.
If you in traffic and you a man and you knock at Megan Thee Stallion, that's not gonna make you feel some kind of way.
Bro, that be hitting though. That be hitting.
Like it's
Megan. Well, also she's bi. She's bi, so she's talking about women and all that kind of stuff in her songs, like talking about women's bodies, and just like these dudes be listening to people talk about women's bodies and their assets and what they did with them and how they pick them up from, they stole their woman, this person's woman, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, she does all that toxic shit too. You know,
apparently so.
That men can relate, that these men can relate to, and it's knocking. So, you know, shout out to her. You know, at least she's, you know, she's coming out of the she might get a lot of spins though. You know what I mean? She's gonna get a lot of spins on this joint.
Yeah.
So I would say it will be a successful album for its release.
Okay.
But is she even partnering with I think she's partnering with
She
Amazon Prime now. She
yeah,
got Amazon Prime commercials.
she's actually blowing up low key. She has a lot of different ads and stuff going on right now. Like yeah, she's definitely been turning up for sure.
Yeah, she's doing well. So good to see her thriving.
Mm-hmm.
Lupe Fiasco has another offering for the church, right?
Man,
Lupe,
man.
This album is called Samurai,
Mm-hmm.
and if you know anything about Lupe, he's been into karate since he was a kid. His dad was a Black Panther and was a martial arts instructor. So, inevitably, those two paths crossed with Lupe. That's intersectionality there for sure. This is his 9th album. The last one was
that's Lupe's 9th album?
9th album. Last one was Drill Music in Zion. 2022. Okay. We talked about it a few albums back. I wish he did the album art. I don't know. I didn't look to see if he did the album art for this one. This one was with like a screen print art piece. It's not a painting. So unless he did like watercolor or something, I don't know. I don't think he did the original art. I would doubt it because it's not his art style. He's more into the abstract art. This one is very visually straightforward what it is, right? It's a samurai. Yeah, man. 9th album. He's always been great with the metaphors, the consciousness of hip hop, to the point you may call it conscious rap. I think a lot of people may look at him in that way. But one thing that I appreciate for Lupe that I didn't really fully appreciate it. I knew he was doing this, but I never identified it until this album, where some of the songs he plays a character. He plays a character, like he puts himself in the scene, and he plays a character in the scene, and he may play it to the absurdity of that character. But it's part of what I was arguing to a friend of mine before about Beyonce making a vulnerable song, right? And this friend was like, "No, but she's a bad bitch." It was like, "What? I mean, it's okay." He's like, "But she can still be that, but just play the role for the song. It's a character. It's just like acting, And so Lupe does this a lot on this. He takes on a role. He pretends like he's in a prison cell, for example, right? Or he's pretending like he's on the receiving end from somebody who's in jail calling, He just puts himself in that role and just plays out the scene. That's all it is. You ain't gotta be the drug dealer. He probably never dealt the thing, you know what I mean? And so but he puts himself in the scene and he plays out the scene. And so you go on to the journey with him like that. And so he's been a great storyteller, but I didn't never realize him actually, I knew he was doing it, but I didn't pinpoint it before until this album where he puts himself here. I'm playing this character. He doesn't say it out loud like that, but he really does a great job with this concept album to really draw that draw you in that way, to be oh, he's playing a character for this song. Let me go along and watch vicariously over his shoulder for it. So love the album. This one is probably probably the more insightful one about Lupe himself, where a lot of his music previously is a lot of, we do get some insight, but I think this one is more, a lot of it is usually social commentary.
Yeah.
On y'all's, you know what I mean? And what y'all doing wrong. They were and so this one's more it's still jazzy. It's still these eclectic selections, that he makes in terms of the production and the music choices and the beat choices. And you still got some choral chorus kind of fill-ins here and there. But he speaks a little bit more about himself.
Yeah.
He speaks a little bit more about himself. And one of the songs he's I've done a lot of winning, but this one takes the cake. It's that's a real self, no, I'm talking about me. I'm not playing a role right now. I'm talking about me right now. You know what I mean? I've done great work, and I'm he's bigging himself up, and that's well deserved. You know what I mean? He's and so
why not?
I wonder if he's thinking this is his best body of work. I think it's very mature. It's almost it kind of comes across a little bit like a dissertation. So there's not as many bops, you know what I mean? And he had a way of putting the medicine in with the candy before, where a lot of times where he'll the song will be you'll be and then like you stop and listen, like, wait a minute, oh damn, did he teach me a lesson just then?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Before you knew it. But I think it'll definitely stand the test of time. It's a good album. Definitely. Lupe Fiasco never disappoints when he like put himself in his frame that, hey, I'm gonna do this thing. The last album, I'm back again preaching the gospel of Lil Yachty. Matter of fact, remember I said, no, he's not Lil Yachty. He's Yachty from henceforth shall be named. I asked for this since Let's Start Here, and he's delivered. He's got a collaboration with James Blake, and it's so fitting. I can't believe I didn't think about this before. When after that album, Let's Start Here, James Blake is the perfect person to team up with. If that's the sound you're trying to go for, if you're actually trying to lean into that, what you did there with Let's Start Here, this whole psychedelic rap thing that's melting hip hop, ambient sound, jazz, and psychedelic funk, soul, almost all in one. Like, and you're gonna be singing a little bit and rapping, kind of like takes the backseat. But what I was saying last time, and I still think about it, it's like it's still rapping. It's just an evolution. We should be able to be okay with the evolution of rap, just like I think country has its evolution. And granted, a lot of country is sounding a hell of kind of pop right now. The ones that really do numbers.
Yeah, because Taylor Swift was able to
kind of
show
pivot into that.
Show what that about. So they see the play. They see the play. So
they see the play. So it's you don't want to completely lose the authenticity of what country music is or what rap music is or hip hop, is. But there could be an evolution. Let's see that evolution and where that next step goes. What I still call hip hop. And I think what Yachty is doing is still hip hop. It's experimental. I'll give it that. Experimental. But both Yachty and James Blake produce. They produce on the all the tracks on here. They had a little bit of help, from a couple other DJs, but they produce mostly the whole thing themselves. And Yachty leans a lot more, like I said, into the singing. Their voices sound very well matched for this work. But remember, Yachty is being auto-tuned, and I know it. We know it.
Oh yeah,
right. He's not hiding it. He's not trying to be slick with it. But that's how he gets this sound that we're talking about to make the music sound this way. And there's an artsy decision that was made for that. I appreciate that.
That's how he got a lot of his stardom. Is just Yachty had a sound, but it was obviously being the sound was being made.
But that's okay. That's your art.
It was synthesized.
That's what your art goes.
Yeah.
Right. Just like the way Daft Punk sound. When you hear some of their vocals, you know what I mean? They chose that decision to go that way for the art.
We still don't even know what they look like.
But the music and the production is a James Blake feel. Like, you really, if Yachty wasn't on this at all, this would be like, oh yeah, this is James Blake album. It was just like another James Blake album. But I think because Yachty had the Let's Start Here album, you can't really just say, I think he holds his own on this, because it feels like Yachty's second album from that series, because he already did it. If he never did it before, he just jumped on this thing, it'd be like, oh, this is just a James Blake album featuring Yachty. But no, I think they legit have a 50-50 kind of stake in this. They deliver in a 50-50 kind of way. And Blake has been partnering up with hip hop artists before.
This album cover is kind of wild too. I ain't gonna lie. I'm looking at.
Well, yeah, because you got Yachty with the syrup.
You got the syrup in it.
And you got the other guy with the tea,
which is coffee. Yeah, tea or coffee, whatever.
That's tea, because he's from the UK.
Oh yeah, this tea. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the beans that he's eating is like, that's a traditional breakfast over there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And so
It's wild.
it's like that collaboration. They're just at dinner chopping it up after, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, a hard day's work or whatever, putting it in for this joint. That could have been, I would be surprised. That's like a real picture, right? I would be surprised.
It looks like it. It kind of almost look like it though, but
Right.
yeah.
So I was saying James Blake, you know, he done work with Vince Staples, Travis Scott. So, you know, he's used to collaborating, to stepping out his specific just lane to like venture off into like, this is a marriage. There was a marriage made that really worked out. What the other funny thing about the cover, now that you mentioned it, is calling it, the album's called Bad Cameo.
Okay.
Like, it's not a bad cameo. Like, you know, it's a strong addition to both of their catalogs. And they kind of setting people up. Well, they trying to like set people up for low expectations or something like that to like. You know,
I'm looking at the
cameo.
I'm looking at the plays. I mean, it's not getting like crazy amount of plays, but
I mean,
but the thing is, it sounds like more of an acquired taste.
It is acquired taste, but okay, it's like if you like, let's start here. You're gonna love this.
Yeah, you're gonna okay.
You know, and the thing is, you know, he doesn't do a lot of rapping. He does rap. He doesn't do a lot of rapping. James Blake doesn't even attempt to rap, so let's not even think about it. He's just doing the singing thing,
so yeah,
providing the harmonies. You know what I mean? And he gets his verse here and there. But if you like Yachty's sound and you like him experimenting like this, it's a great album. It could be nominated. It could be nominated, but I mean, like nobody's like I thought let's start here could have been nominated. But I love the fact that Yachty is doing his own unique thing. He's doing his own unique thing, and he's being rewarded for it. You see how he still has. I don't know if he has a cult following like somebody like
he probably does actually,
like Frank Ocean would. You know, maybe he does, because I know I'm checking for him now. You gave me 2 of these, Yachty. You gave me 2 of these. I'm definitely checking for you next time you drop. You know, and I'm running these albums back to back. This album is definitely going to give spins from me, you know, and people that enjoy Let's Start Here, which I gave a bunch of spins. Where I still go back to and play. Now I'm going to put these 2 on a playlist and just press shuffle. Bro, it's going to be seamless. It's going to be freaking seamless. I would say this, Yachty, I love what you're doing. Word from the wise. Stay away from Drake. Okay, if you want to keep your creative
Drake is a
flowing
hit maker, man.
like you're doing,
how he gonna stay away from him?
And Drake is also a leech. He's been trying to like buddy up with Yachty and they friends and all that kind of stuff. But you stay away from that boy. You see what Kendrick did to him. You don't want none of that. And his career, I don't know. Career may be he may be trying to grab like crabs in a barrel.
Drake always finds a way, man.
Crabs in a barrel his way. Steal your sound. Watch your sound, Yachty.
Yeah.
Copyright your joint. And don't let this nigga listen to something that ain't come out yet. You know what I mean? Who knows what kind of leech this dude gonna be on? And go holler at Kendrick. You know, maybe collab over there and learn something so you can like be a stand-up gentleman, you know.
Be a stand-up gentleman.
Not like this other guy. Be a stand-up guy. Don't be like this other guy. He's, you know, let him stay over there with it. Okay. Drake has bangers. I do, but like that king, quote unquote, that had no clothes, turns out. Kendrick has stripped him bare. All right, you don't want to be next to that. You know what I mean? Your star is shining, your star's on the rise. You don't want to be next to that. You know what I mean? So do your thing. Shout out to Yachty. Album is amazing. I love it. I think it could get nominated.
All right, we're gonna stop the cap right here. It's been a great show, y'all. We appreciate y'all for
you're welcome
for tuning in.